Hi guys, M.V.K here, back again. How's everybody doing on their end? So, welcome to a thank you, Mega Man. Um, Welcome to a opinion spot number 335, and doing it live. I thought I'd do a little something special uh, for the 35th. Had a lot of topics that I wanted to talk about in opinion spot. There's so many that came out, and I'm falling behind on them. So I decided to wait. Let me just tackle all of them in one live event, as well as say my opinion on the event, and then get your opinions on the subject. You could see in the description below there. Those are some of the topics I'm going to talk about for half an hour or so. Could be longer. But then, of course, I promise to shout you guys out in terms of answering. Shout you guys out in terms of your answers to your opinion to the subject, to said subject. That's pretty much the way I'm going to do it. This is not necessarily a Q&A. Okay, so let me make that perfectly clear. This is not a Q&A. So if you're going to be asking me questions, just realize that I'll see them, but I may not answer. The opinion spot is a lot different. If you followed me for a long time, you know I've been doing the opinion spot for a long time. It's one of my longest running segments on my channel, on my main channel. And it's basically me taking a topic, I give my opinion on it, and go from there. Last two topics I did for the opinion spot was the domino, Zazie Beetz domino. I gave my opinion on that, and that kind of caused a huge ruckus. Just shows you the power of an opinion. Can just go crazy. But as always, it's your opinion. I will respect that. Just please respect mine, as always. And of course, the latest one I did was the fact that Elongated Man is going to be coming to Flash season 4, is a character that I wanted on that show. So yeah. But there were other topics I had in mind I wanted to talk about. So here I am. I'm gonna get down to the list of the ones I had, and I wrote them all down on my phone. Just the ones that are not written down there. So let's start off with this the first one in Durham. Lilandra Villian. Yeah. Let's talk about this. So for all those guys who don't know or who kind of given up on the X-Men movie franchise that Fox has put together, we all know that the next X-Men movie is called Phoenix, one of them. So they're going with the Phoenix once again. I think we all had our taste of that other thing from back when, because that sure as well wasn't the Phoenix. That was Jean on a bad day, that time of the month. You know what I'm saying? But this time they're going with that. And not too long ago, we were hearing rumors that Jessica Chastain was in talks of playing the villain or so in this X-Men movie, and she had officially announced that she is. She was tweeting Jason McAvoy, and then basically it was showcased that she's gonna play Lilandra, one of Professor Xavier's former lovers, love of his life. I mean, those two were very much in love. She was the queen of the matriarchs, or the queen of the Shi'ar before she died. Back in, I forget which X-Men series, X-Men issue she died in, but yeah, she died there. Then Gladiator took over, and this is comic wise. Gladiator took over leadership of the Shi'ar. But now they're gonna bring Lilandra in the movies. Something I've always wanted. Something I've always, I've always wanted the X-Men movies to kind of go out there. I'm tired of seeing the X-Men just deal with mutant haters. They defend Evil Brotherhood, got to stop them. Okay, yeah, we've seen that. But there have been other great stories in the X-Men franchise outside of this, them dealing with the Brotherhood of Mutants or Apocalypse, no disrespect. But there were other stuff. Their space adventures were always great. However, this is my opinion on the subject. Though I am okay with it, I have nothing against Miss Chastain. I think she could pull off Lilandra's look pretty much, dye her black, get the Shi'ar look, that kind of like that former Beehive. It kind of looks like a Beehive look, old hairstyle from the 50s. But we all know that it's not going to be the Shi'ar aliens. We know that. They're not going to be aliens. And this is my opinion on this one. We know it's not. My opinion is they're going to go with the ultimate in the ultimate versions of the Shi'ar. You guys remember, go back way back to when the Ultimate Universe first kind of came out, and there was the Ultimates, Ultimate Spider-Man, Ultimate X-Men. Way back when, in Ultimate X-Men number 66, the first run, they introduced Lilandra in there. And in that series, she was like a blind date or so of Professor Xavier's or so, but she was a part of this church that worshiped the Phoenix. They were called the Crystal Church of Phoenix, something like, damn, what the hell was the order? You guys tell me in the comments. I can't remember off the top of my head what that, but it basically was a cult. It was a damn cult that worshipped and bowed down to the Phoenix and things like that. That's where I'm thinking they're going with this. Is instead of going with the aliens, the Shi'ar, they're going with, oh, she's just a human. She's just a, she's probably the leader of the cult. But she's so brainwashed in her own Kool-Aid. She's drinking her own Kool-Aid or so, and they worship this whatever. That's kind of my opinion on the subject. I think they're going to go more with the ultimate version, the adaptation of Lilandra and the Shi'ar. Personally, to me, guys, you guys know me how I am. I'm just. Is it so wrong to want to see the X-Men deal with aliens? Is it so wrong? Is it so wrong? Don't try to tell me it's not plausible, Chris. You got people with steel skin, shots of beams coming out their eyes, dealing with highly advanced robots, and you can't pull off aliens. Please. Yeah, so, yeah, and she's going to be the villain. So, yeah, so they're going to make Lilandra villain. I'm thinking they're going with the ultimate version of that, adapting that. Look forward to hearing you guys' opinion on that subject right there. I'll be looking forward to that. Like I said, guys, I'll promise to shout out as many as I can in terms of that first topic right there. So, comment section, live at wherever you are, give your opinion on that subject right there. While I move on to the next. The other subject, and keep it in terms of the X-Men, my opinion wise, is things I want to see before I'm old and gray with the X-Men. I got a couple of things I wanted to get off my chest, and the opinion spot is the best way to do it. In my opinion, it's one of the best ways to do it. So, getting this off my chest before I'm old and gray, the one thing I want to see from the X-Men in terms of live action adaptations, I want to see, and I'm just going to go down the list for you guys. One, I want to see the true Sentinels, not super adaptoids. I don't want to see as much as I love Days of Future Past, that's not the Sentinels. They were super adaptoids. That's what they were. That's what they were. That's all they were. They weren't robots. They were, but they were super adaptoids. They were able to adapt to any mutant power. That's not what the Sentinels are. Well, Not all of them, but some of them are. Okay. So I want to see the real Sentinels. I want to see Master Mold. I want to see Nimrod. Hell, I'll even take Bastion. You know, I want to see the true Sentinels adapted, not a falsy of them or a haphazardry of them. I want to see the full. As I said before, I want to see them really go outside the box in terms of the X-Men. And what I mean by that is it's not just about the Brotherhood of Mutants versus the X-Men and this and that. I want to see them go out there. I want to see, before I'm old and gray, I want to see the X-Men somewhere down the line discover the Savage Land, discover Kazar and his wife Shauna. I want to see them go out into space. I want to see them deal with God. I want to see them deal with the Brood. I don't care if they look so much like the X-Men, the aliens, excuse me. I want to see them at some point deal with the real Mr. Sinister. I don't want to see a scientist. No, I want to see pale skin, armored up, gem in the forehead, red-eyed Mr. Sinister. I would put Apocalypse on that we got him. I would probably say maybe a better interpretation of him. That's another thing. I want to see maybe even, no, they kind of already adapted that story, the Mutant Massacre, but I would love to see the true Morlocks, Callisto. I want to see, but of course, one of the most important things before I'm old and gray, in terms of what I want to see with the X-Men as in general, in the beginning of an X-Men movie, anything X-Men related, somewhere down the line, I'm a dreamer, so assuming. Not just saying Marvel, then Fox. I wanted to say Marvel Studios. I'm a dreamer, but somewhere I'm dreaming right along with Kevin Feige. He has gone on record many times saying he wants everybody under one roof. Is that too hard to ask for in general? Is that too hard for us to just dream with him? I don't think so. I think we all want to see that. Somewhere down the line, we all want to see that. And that's one of the things with the X-Men franchise in general I would love to see. I want to see those things. Are some things I want to see before I'm old and gray. Before this becomes gray. This becomes gray. And maybe I'm a little, have more, I have wrinkles and stuff. And I don't think I'll be shaking a lot, but those are some of the things I want to see before I'm old and gray for the X-Men. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so. I do not think so. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's going on. Comment section below. Okay. Hi, Omnitron. Hi, Dylan. Hi, Nathan. Hi, Justin. Somebody help. Okay, yeah, somebody please help Justin out. He doesn't know who Lilandra is. Guts and Glory, Shori. How's everybody doing? Let's see what else we got here. Desfit Voga. Okay, somebody new. I haven't seen that before. All right. And I will definitely agree with that, Des. I would love to see Omega. That's another person. Omega Red. I want to see Omega Red. Omega Red one. I would love to see him come in and Wolverine. You are getting too slow, Wolverine. You're too old. Look, know your place, little man. You know, I'm just. No, let me introduce you to my coils. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Sorry. Let's see. Anybody opinions on the first topic at hand? No offense, guys, to any of your questions, guys. I'm just. This is not really a Q&A. This is more of a live edition of the opinion spot. Okay, my opinion. Okay, Omnitron. Here we go. My opinion on the Lilandra sub thing. Use Deathbird. Come on. This is basic. In my honest opinion, Dark Phoenix would need to be 2 movies to get the full scope of the story. But that's just me. Bro fist to the homie. What's up? Yes, indeed. Justin Walker, who's Lilandra? Okay, Omnitron, handle that. Thank you very much on that part. Okay, she is she a Black Lightning villain? No, she's not a Black Lightning villain. Okay, and here's hoping justice after this. Okay, isn't China playing one of their daughters? Okay, she's an excellent. Okay, she's okay. I would love to see Juggernaut versus an army of Skrulls. A true Juggernaut is also something I would want to see as well. Okay, this is all returning to. Actually, Marvel owns the Savage Land. Okay. Well, I still want to see it. Okay, I want to see Albert. Fox needs to make the deal with even better. Mugray against Colossus from Deadpool. That's a good choice too, opinion wise. Okay, I heard that an early draft of Logan was Omega Red instead of the X-24. I love to see Majik. I mean, Ilyana Rasputin will be coming. Majik is coming in New Mutants, which I believe I boycotted. Yeah, I boycotted that. Too much. Cast looks too whitewashed, man. I'm sorry. Sunspot. Danny, guys know how I feel with Danny Moonstar. They even bringing in Cecilia Reyes in that, and I'm like, Cecilia Reyes is darker. Roberto Sunspot is Afro-Brazilian. Basically, he would look like what the famous soccer player from Brazil, Pele, looks like. Just with an afro. The casting of my girl, Ronnie Sinclair, a.k.a. Wolfsbane, is great. That's good casting. They casted the actress from the movie The Witch to play Ilyana Rasputin, Colossus' little sister. My man Sam Guthrie, Cannonball, the dude looks older than he's supposed to be. You know what it is. But let's move on. Next topic I want to talk about is one of my favorite DC heroes of all time. Everybody should know who I'm talking about. Black Lightning. Yeah, I'm excited for the TV series. Indeed. Yes, I am. But when I watch that, if you go back and you watch my reaction to that, one of the things that I talked about at the end of that was, will Anissa Pierce, his eldest, and Jennifer Pierce have their powers? And it's been stated that the girls will have their powers. So Thunder and Lightning will have their powers. And it's kind of funny because a lot of people say, if you look closely, Chris, you kind of see that they kind of exposed it in the trailer. And I went back after I watched it again. I was like, oh, shoot. Yeah, they kind of did. That's great. I love this. My opinion on this subject, I love this idea. I love that they're already going to have their powers. It's not latent or dormant. they got him, and I guess they're just going to be hiding it from their father, which would be great because for a long time they were scared to tell Dad Jefferson that, hey, Dad, we kind of inherited your powers in some way. Now, for all those who are not really familiar with Anissa, Thunder, and Jennifer, Lightning, what their power sets are, they're similar to Daddy's, just Anissa's is a lot different than Daddy's. Thunder has the ability to its density increase. She can increase her density, but also the point of impact is like thunder, bam, and it hits you. So she hits you from a point of impact. Her hand, it's like boom, and she can cause disruption in the electrical field like thunder. Like when you hear thunder, boom, and it makes that big sound. It's kind of in that respect, but it's more of an energy burst. Her feet, any point of impact, mainly her hands, her feet. And like I said, her increase in density also is a very cool power to have as well. And what I mean by that, the density of her skin can get a little more hardened and in strength, not like in super strength, but in durability. That's the way I mean it. Her younger sister, Jennifer, is more like Daddy in terms of, think of the way I can basically easily describe it for you guys is, think of what if Johnny Storm, the Human Torch, when instead of saying flame on, he said lightning on, and he became a walking electrical, the human lightning, living lightning. Yeah, that's basically kind of looking at it. She can she becomes she's powered up. She's so electrified. Her hair becomes like bolts of it looks like her hair is like bolts of lightning. She can't be near any kind of electrical appliances because they'll shut down. If you think Kitty is bad, like she phases through anything electrical, it's shut down. Jennifer is worse. She can't be near anything and it'll shut down. We've seen it a lot when she joined the JSA back in the before the New 52. She was a part of the JSA and they were trying to help her control that ability. She can fly. She's very powerful. She's right up there with her sister. Jefferson, Black Lightning, I love that his kids are like him. And so I always like that. I always, one moment, please. Hello. Hello. Yes, sir. I'm coming down. Coming down, sir. Un momento. I shall return, guys. One moment. Sorry about that, guys. Sometimes hate it when you order food and it comes when the most inconvenient times. Sorry. So yeah, what I was talking about. Oh yeah. The Nissa, the Pierce daughters. Yeah. I was talking about Jenna. So yeah, so they're gonna have their powers in the TV show, and that's great. Um, like I said, Jennifer's a lot more like her dad. Anissa's a little differently. If you're not familiar, guys, research them. Just look them up. Thunder. Just Google Thunder, Anissa Pierce, DC, and you'll get a big in-depth of her power set and things like that. Same thing goes for her daughter, her sister, uh, Jennifer Pierce, aka Lightning, and you'll get more. But I kind of bridged it, gave you a little, but I'm giving you guys a little bit of a Black Lightning 101. But I am looking forward to seeing the show. I'm looking forward to seeing how they explore that side in terms of Jennifer and Anissa. I'm still wondering if they're also going to pull off the fact that Anissa's gay in the show. Will they tackle that issue too? His oldest daughter is gay. She is in a relationship before the New 52, once again, in all rebirth and everything. Anissa was in a relationship with another, with her teammate, actually, this big Amazonian Asian woman known as Grace Choi. She's another one you should look up. So I'm wondering if they're going to bring Grace into the show. Uh, that's going to be really interesting to see. So yeah, so Black Lightning, the daughters of Black Lightning will have their powers. I'm looking forward to that. I am very much looking forward to seeing how they explore that. Indeed. So what did I miss so far? Um, uh, let's see. Um, let's see. I try not. Okay, let me make sure. So in that terms, guys, in that terms of the daughters, what is your opinion on that subject? For all those who are just coming in, who are new, Matt, I see the West. Uh, I will shout you guys out on the opinion topics at hand that just had. Okay, so for everybody who, what are your opinions on Lilandra being the villain in the next X-Men movie? I gave my opinions. You'll probably see others. Uh, I kind of gave a little bit of a thought kind of topic on before I'm old and gray, what I want to see with the X-Men franchise, what I want to see. We had a whole fun time with that. And now I just talked about that the Pierce sisters will have their powers in the Black Lightning TV show, and I'm very happy about that. Okay. Um. Let's see. I want to make sure. Uh. Okay. Uh. Okay. All right. I'll answer this question for you, Justin. It seems like you're having a little bit of. Okay. Are we talking? You're talking. Okay. I'll answer this question. I got a question, Chris. In terms of skill, who win? Who wins, Elektra or Colleen? We talking comic or are we just talking Netflix? Comic wise, Colleen is good. She practices the way of Bushido, so she's basically a samurai. But Elektra's on a whole nother level. Uh, very whole nother level. Um, be a good fight, but in the end, Colleen would lose. Um, on account of more knowledge, martial knowledge, in terms of Elektra. There you go. I answered one question. There you go. I said I wouldn't answer a question because that's not what this is about, but I'll answer one for you. There you go. John Cena, please. Ha! Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm okay. Omnitron once again. Shouting out Omnitron again. I'm just glad we're getting more superhero families and dare I say legacy. Hold on, a legacy. I can't think of a better way than Thunder and Lightning. Yeah. That is, if I was to say anything, and my cheesesteak smells so good, I might eat on camera. I don't care. But the one thing, the one thing that I've always said, and I don't get into that stupid DC versus Marvel rivalry because I don't agree with it. I don't believe in it. I think the so-called rivalry was started by two individuals, and one of them is Dan Dildo. Excuse me, Didio and Fat Kusada. Yeah, I've always my big belief opinion of that. But that's one thing I've always said about DC. DC knows how to do legacy characters. They are the masters at that. Marvel is starting to kind of showcase it, but not that well. Because it almost always goes back. DC does it too, but Marvel's quicker to set the reset button real quicker. That's why I've always I give them credit. Sam was Captain America a lot longer than I thought he was gonna be before they hit that reset button and Steve's back. Yeah, I was a little shocked, but DC does it a lot better, and it'd be so cool, for me. Hopefully, once again, another thing I would want to see before I'm old and gray, is Alan Scott, Green Lantern, and his kids, Jade and Obsidian. Somewhere down the line, I want to see them. I don't care if it's a goddamn short. Just give it to me. I want to. People. There are a lot of fans or people that always come at me in my channel comments or just send me personal. It's like, dude, why are you so high on the old school heroes? And I've always said it, and I've made it perfectly clear. It's all about respect. I have this big belief, guys, that you have to respect those that came before to appreciate those that you have now. So when you hear me go on about the golden age heroes like Jay and Alan and Wildcat and golden age Black Canary, Dinah's mom, the Shadow, the Phantom, Green Hornet, Lone Ranger, Zorro. That's because I appreciate those characters. The Spider, I appreciate those characters. Even though that guy right there that you're seeing behind me is my #1 favorite hero, he wouldn't be around if it weren't for guys that came before him. That's my big belief. Even Batman himself and Superman, they weren't around before those characters I just mentioned. Even a lot of people forget that Wonder Woman may have been the first super powered female hero, but she was not the first. She's not the first heroine. Actually, that goes to Shauna of the Jungle. Yeah. So little knowledge for you guys. That's why I call myself the Omni Geek High Lord of New York. Thank you, Mega Man. Yeah, it's just years of knowledge and understanding of this game, this community. I have to be that way. And I always love to drop knowledge on said person. And also, if If I don't know something, engulf it right back. You give it back to me, I'm gonna engulf it. It's like I take a little win and I give a lot back. That's just me. That's why I always say, guys, I love my fans. I love my fans to death. And I don't say that just to BS you guys. I say that legit. I love you guys. You know, you guys stick with me, and you know, you watch. I appreciate everybody out there who watches my stuff 24/7. Like anytime I upload something, they're gonna watch it. I, honest to God, on my mother's grave, I appreciate that so much. It is because of you I made it to 7,000 subscribers. I'm about to celebrate my 10-year anniversary on YouTube, August 20th. Okay, so I appreciate that very much. Next thing I wanted to talk about on the list, in terms of topics for the opinion spot, once again, this is going to Valiant Entertainment. For all you guys out there that don't know who Valiant is, it was a company in the 90s, had some great characters, and they dropped out. You know, the 90s was not a good time for comics, but they made a resurgence back in, I think, 2014, and man, they haven't looked back ever since. They're about to, now their characters about to get into the movies. Bloodshot, Harbinger, Shadow Man's got a director, Reginald Howland. No, I said Bloodshot. Ninjak is about to have a digital series soon, which I'm looking forward to. But now, check this out. So it would seem that another one of my favorite Valiant characters is gonna get an adaptation, and I want to make sure I get it right. I wrote it down on my pad on my phone. Damn it, where is it? Shit. Oh crap, where I put it? So it would seem that Drax himself, aka Dave Bautista, for all my fellow wrestling fans out there, we knew him as the Animal Batista. He is in talks. It's been reported by the Hollywood Reporter, is going to bring another one of my favorite Valiant characters, the Eternal Warrior, to the big screen. The Eternal Warrior basically is Valiant's version of Highlander, in a sense. In the Valiant universe, there are a group of immortals. And most of them are the main characters. The Eternal Warrior is he's their brother, are family to them. And he is probably one of the most tactically advanced. In terms of tactician, he has been around so much. He has so much battle knowledge. He has fought and defended the world countless times because of his know-how. Dave Bautista wants to bring that to the big screen. I'm all for that, but I'm not quite sure if I don't want to say I'm not quite sure that Dave Bautista can't hold his own as the main lead. You know, I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is if Mr. Bautista he needs to really get to know who this character is. You know, he's not just a Highlander ripoff. He's not. He's more to it. While Duncan MacLeod and Connor MacLeod, you know, they tried to stay out of kind of, you know, the gathering. They tried to stay apart from all that from time to time. You know, the Eternal Warrior arc was always in the fight, in the heart of battle, when the world didn't know he was defending it. He was kind of like that kept secret. So it makes me wonder about that. But it is good to see the Eternal Warrior come to the big screen, come becoming another Valiant character that I want. The next I definitely want to see is Exo Man of War. That's another one of my favorite Valiant characters. My favorite Valiant character, my top 5 was Ninjak, Bloodshot, Eternal Warrior, Shadow Man, and did I say Exo Man of War? If not, those are my top 5. I actually did a video to showcase my top 5. But yeah. So what do you guys think about that? You know, do you think Dave could Drax? I know most of you guys. Do you think he could hold down his own as the lead? You know, God, okay, I'm taking a bite. I'm trying to hold my cravings back, but I can't. You think he could hold down his own? Forgive me for eating on camera, guys. I hope I don't. I'll try to eat off camera so I don't make you too hungry. A little hot. But do you think Dave can do that? You think he could hold down his own and as the main lead? I mean, I like him as Drax. I mean, he's not full Drax. You know, he's not. You know, they put a lot more comedy into Drax than you look at Drax in the comics. Prior to Bendis taking over, Drax was a serious badass. Like, he didn't take no shit from nobody. You know, he's also a character. He's the father of the Marvel character Moondragon, but I think they switched it now. I'm not sure if they're keeping that true anymore. But before Bendis came along, Drax the Destroyer was Moondragon's father, Heather Douglas. That's her name. Moondragon's the bald female, who's a telepath, a telekinetic. She can move things in her mind. She used to have the soul gem in the middle of her forehead, you know, things like that. She was also in a big time relationship with Captain Marvel's daughter, not Carol Danvers. I'm talking about Marvel, the man she preceded. Yeah. Succeeded. Excuse me. Succeeded. Okay. Let's take a look at what's going on. I think, guys, you know, I'm kind of running through a lot of these topics a little faster than I wanted to, so I may answer some questions. But I will give you the word on that. Okay, I promise. Let me see. Okay, I'd like to see Romulus. I wasn't a big fan of Romulus because that was when Loeb was writing Wolverine, and the fact that Jeff Loeb went on to say Wolverine is the one responsible for the Weapon X, I was like, fuck out of here with that shit. You know, sorry. I want to see Doc and oh god, I'll no, I'm not a big fan of Doc, and I can't. Nope. He's one character, Marvel character I hate with a passion. I couldn't agree more with the respect for the characters who came before. Yeah, that's true, man. You got to. You can't just say, "Oh, fuck that character. That character's old. He didn't matter. He didn't matter then. He did matter. Or she mattered. That because if it wasn't for that character, these characters when it came out. Prime example of that. Do you realize that it was the Phantom who was the first to have a costume, as well as the first to wear the Domino mask? If it wasn't for the Ghost Who Walks, Robin and Bucky and all these other characters that wear the Domino mask, probably wouldn't have had it then. The Ghost Who Walks did that. The Phantom, a character that I would love to see get another crack at I would say a movie, but I would want a Netflix series. That's just me. Okay. The Titans and JSA are the best. I love JSA. I've always loved Justice League, Justice Society of America, and I've always loved Teen Titans. You guys know how I feel about those characters that Wolfman and Perez wrote. Those characters mean so much to me. So yeah, those characters I follow more. You know, I'm always like, don't kill that character off. Like, you know, Raven, Starfire, Beast Boy, Donna Troy, those characters that Wolfman and Perez was writing in New Teen Titans. You know, I don't throw Dick Grayson in it because I've always loved Dick Grayson. I've always loved him. But yeah, those characters, I'm like very sensitive. Like, don't you kill them all. So how do you guys fucking feel about the fact that Starfire is coming into Injustice 2? That tripped me out because in the Injustice world, she was trapped in the Phantom Zone. And I'm like, okay, how the hell did she get out of there? And the fact that when they showed her trailer and showed her interacting with Robin, that was the one I wanted to see the most. And the fact that she said, I want nothing to do with Dick Grayson's killer. And that fucking Damian, it was an accident. You know what? Fuck you, Damian. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. You big-headed piece of shit. I hate Damian. I'm sorry. I hate Damian. He's getting on my nerves. Okay, we appreciate you too, Chris. Okay, we most definitely appreciate you, Chris. Okay. I think as far as the lanterns are concerned, they could introduce a different color rings in DC Legends of Tomorrow. Okay, let's talk about that real quick before I go on to the next topic, because the next topic does involve DC again. You know, could we see the other color spectrum in like the CW networks? You know, Hope. You know, Hope. Love. I would save the Red Lanterns for a movie. I'd save Red Lantern. I'd save Fear. Maybe I would. Here's the ones I would save for the ones I would probably. The ones that probably could work better on the TV is the Indigo Tribe, because their story is so, the backstory of them is so interesting because they represent compassion, but all of them were former killers and things like that. It's like that was a trip. I wouldn't mind seeing that. Legends of Tomorrow is an idea that could work as well for Marvel too, and actually was coming up with an idea for something I was writing for my fan fiction site. That I was writing that. What if I basically started out saying, okay, what if I take I made up a character, the great grandson of Peter Quill, and in his time, he is a member of a group that protects time and space, blah, blah, blah. And he's a rookie, and he has to stop a criminal, but he is the last of his squad. And I was coming up with ideas of like, so what if he went back in time and used some of the, heroes of before and things like that. Like I said, but Legend of Tomorrow works. I'm looking forward to seeing Isis. She's going to be on Legend of Tomorrow, so that's going to be really good. I think it is high time to start showcasing. I don't want to say characters of color, but characters of different religion, especially characters of Islamic and Muslim descent. Showcase that they're not bad. They're not all terrorists and bullshit. That stereotype that we see a lot in movies and stuff. It's not how they are. So I'm looking forward to showcasing that. So that's gonna be real interesting. Let me move on to Valiant is another one of my favorites. Yeah. Oh, who's better? Who has better movies now? John Cena, not not you. Yo, whatever. The fact that John Cena, look, I don't hate Cena. I don't hate John Cena. I respect everything that man has done for his career, for WWE. He is the modern day Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, he is. Um, he's starting now to really put guys over. And when I mean put guys over, he's the veteran, but he's making other guys into stars, helping them become popular. This last week on SmackDown, he put Shinsuke Nakamura over cleanly, put him over clean. You know, he's starting to understand now his purpose now. You know, where if guys were like him back in the day, people like Hogan and stuff, they probably wouldn't have done it like what he does now, because it was still all been about me, and not the company. But I respect what John Cena. And now he's gonna be starring in that Bumblebee spinoff movie. I don't give a rat's. I stopped caring about the Transformers movie franchise after maybe, I think, Revenge of the Fallen or 2. I could care less. Not my Transformers. I can still watch the first one, somewhat the second one, but once again, that's their adaptation of Optimus. But I don't want to be hearing Optimus Prime talk about, give me your face and I'll take you all on. That's not the Optimus I grew up with. He was one of the greatest leaders, fictional leaders. He was compassionate, but he was a warrior too. But over time, he became just more fierce and vicious. And I'm like, no. And even though Peter Cullen does the voice, it's like, that's not my Optimus. That's not. I did not see the last one. I do not care. So if y'all want to spoil that, go ahead. I don't care. I really could care less about that. I think Archer and Anderson don't know many other. Oh, okay. They're going to be in the Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe web series. Gotta check out Bloodshot. Bloodshot Matt is similar to Wolverine. He's a project. He's a soldier. Basically, his blood has nanites in him, and he can take any mortal wound and heal from it. The nanites in his blood he'll rapidly heal. But he's a soldier, so he's kind of mixed Punisher, Wolverine. He's got silver skin, a red circle on his chest, red eyes. He can also shapeshift. He's like the ultimate weapon, kind of like Wolverine. Wait, have you heard of Ninjak? Yeah, of course I have Ninjak. Okay, let me go to the next topic. As you all know, they're still doing the Titans live action show, and we now know who has been casted as Raven. Raven has been casted on the Teen Titans live action show, coming soon. And I want to make sure I get her name. Her name is Tegan Croft. I'm gonna look into more. So you want to look into more of her, but she's gonna play the Raven live action. I want to make sure I get some more in terms of like how old she is and everything like that. Okay. Okay. So first things first, she's a newcomer. She is she's an Aussie. She's from Australia. Okay. And the series is slated for 2018. It will be the first series for the DC branch direct to consumer digital service. Let me see. They say Croft's Raven is described as the daughter of a demon, which is true. Is a powerful empath who must keep her emotions in check, or risk unleashing her demonic side. All true. What did I always say? Stay true to the character, the essence of the character. That's always been Raven. She's always been that way, keeping her emotions in check. Before she's the daughter of a powerful demon. So that's good to know. Wow, she's only 13. Okay, so they're going younger with Raven. Okay, that's okay. I don't know anything about this young woman. She's new. She's a newcomer. But at least we're starting to get word of who are going to be playing members. Making Raven 13 is okay. It's not that bad, in my opinion. I feel that making her kind of a pre-adolescent teen, like just becoming a teenager, works better with her trying to control her emotions. Control how she interacts with maybe her other teammates, other people, society in general. I like that. I hope nothing but the best for this show. The show was supposed to, remember, they talked about the Teen Titans show was supposed to be on TNT. Remember that, when it's supposed to be on TNT? And the question was always, was it going to be connected into the whole Arrowverse at the time and things like that. But we now know Raven is going to has been casted. It's a start. In my opinion, it's a start. Not bad so far. Tell me, guys, how do you feel about that? Raven being casted and things like that. Now, I think I have one more topic, and then I am open to you guys. You can ask me questions. And don't forget, guys, I will be doing another regular Q&A. I think I'm going to hit one next week for you guys again. And, of course, at the end of the month, I'll do another one for you guys. But, yeah. What was the other topic? I don't remember writing it down. So I may have to look it up, guys. I don't remember writing it down. Sorry. I usually write some certain things down. What was the other thing I wanted to talk about? I don't think it was comic related. It wasn't comic related. I don't think it was. But even if it's not comic related, it's still it's part of the opinion spot. So I wanted to, yeah. Oh no, there was two things. Okay, got it. All right, here we go. So this goes out to all my fellow children of the 80s. How you guys doing? I feel your energy with me. Your energy flows through me. I feel the power. I got the glow. Yeah. No. But one of the things that's coming out, check this out. So I'm sure you probably heard this. So there is a Karate Kid direct sequel TV series coming out, which is bringing back pretty much almost the original cast. Ralph Macchio. I'm always forgetting the actor who played Johnny. Those are two of them. They've already announced are coming back. When I heard this, I was like, get the fuck out of here. No way they do. And it's legit. They really are. As you guys know, I'm a big fan. I've been saying this lately. You can take the 80s from me. You can't take the 80s out of me. You can't take the 80s out of this boy. The 80s may have gone, but it's there. It's always in me. Recently, just before I even started this, I was having a Magnum PI marathon. I was just watching Magnum. I love Magnum. So I was just watching it. I felt like a kid again, just sitting there watching it, when it first aired. But anyway, yeah. Karate Kid is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love that movie. The first two, I love out of the original, the Ralph Macchio run. The first two are my favorite. The first one I love. The second one, oh my God, I love that one. That's probably my favorite out of the Ralph Macchio, Pat Morita run. Well, no, I can't say Pat Morita run because he did 4. But out of Ralph Macchio's run, I really could care less about the third one in general. Because you know what? What's always been the problem with me about Daniel in the series is like Mr. Miyagi teaches him karate, which is originated from Okinawa, not Japan. It's first originated in Okinawa. But the second one, it felt better because, sorry about that. That's my alert when something pops up on my phone. It's Mega Man's Buster Cannon being charged. Yeah, I'm a big geek. But anyway, Ralph Macchio, in the second one, it felt more legit because what was the line at the end of the second one? Danielson, this is no tournament. This is for real. That felt legit because in that one, Tosen, one of the main villains, secondary villains, he was really trying to kill Daniel. So that one, but still, even still with that, you would think after that, and then you watch the third one, like Daniel progressed as a martial artist or so. It was just like, I understand he's supposed to be like the underdog, but it was just like, you know what, even the underdogs progress in skill in terms of fighting. Rocky did it, things like that. So yeah, but a TV series. I'm wondering what this is going to be about. Like, it's a direct sequel, so I'm wondering what's the main story of it in general. I'm like, what's Daniel doing? What's Johnny been up to since? We saw that Johnny and Daniel kind of like, I would kind of say they kind of like found equal grounding, whatever. You remember when Daniel did the crane kick and kicked Johnny didn't even, he walked right into it. But he basically handed Daniel the trophy and said, you're all right, LaRusso, good match. He basically told him that. He's like, good match, but so it makes me wonder how they're going to pull that off. And Daniel, and I'm always, guys, tell me the actor who played Johnny, because I don't want to just say the actor who played Johnny. Tell me who that is. I'm trying to remember his name. They have aged pretty damn well. They look exactly the same that they did in that movie. It's crazy. The last time we saw the actor who played Johnny, he was in I've seen him in a Buffalo Wild Wing commercial, and they turned from a karate match, and he turned around. He's like, you don't like karate? And he looked just like he did back in that one. I'm like, man, he aged well. He aged well. So my opinion on a direct sequel Karate Kid TV show, it's interesting, but here's my question. Is it really necessary? That's my opinion. Is it really necessary? Is it just for people like me who grew up with that, children of the 80s, just to get a rise and say, woohoo, they brought something back from our time? That's what I'm kind of looking at from. The other, so you guys can leave your opinion on that subject. The other one I wanted to talk about real quick is Sylvester Stallone is working hard on the script for Creed 2. Creed was a great movie. That was a hell of a good movie to continue into the Rocky franchise. Nobody can tell me any differently. That movie was bad. It was good. Michael B. Jordan was great. Rocky, I love the direction they went with Rocky in that. But the one thing that always questioned me about that movie is how they always, and I'm showing my food. I'm sticking it in your face. I'm sorry, guys. The thing is, they always proceeded to say Apollo just died in the ring. No, he didn't die in the ring in terms of like he was boxing it. He just died. No, he got killed. He got murdered in the ring. A 6 foot plus tall Russian known as Ivan Drago, who was juiced up, killed him, beat him down in the ring. And what was his line? What was his line, y'all? If he dies, he dies. And he didn't face any charges. Me and my brother Malcolm have always gone on record when we watch Rocky IV and say, how the hell did he not get charged with murder? And we've always started to come up with ideas like it was an athletic contract, athletic competition. Secondly, diplomatic immunity. But they've always said that, like when they were telling Adonis that he's like, your daddy died in the ring. He just didn't, he got murdered. But check this out. The script being written, Drago will be back in Creed 2. When I read that Rocky and Drago are going to meet again, but also Adonis and Drago is going to meet somewhere. And hopefully there's going to be a sit down between them, not a boxing match, but a sit down, and him asking Drago. I mean, because in honesty, wouldn't we want to know that too? Like, why did you kill my father? Like, why did you do it? My also concern is also what's Drago's mindset now after all these years. How does he feel about that? Like, I'm the one responsible for this kid not having his father around. That's going to be really interesting. So Dolph Lundgren will come back. That's great. But how is he going to feel about that? You understand what I'm saying? Like, where's that going to go? That's interesting to me. And if I know Sylvester Stallone like we do, the script's going to be pretty well written. Sylvester, when Stallone writes, he tries to make sure he goes balls in. And I'm looking forward to that confrontation between that meeting between Michael B. Jordan and Ivan Drago, or Adonis Creed and Ivan Drago. Who knows? Maybe Ivan has had kids too with, his wife in the movie was Bridget Nielsen. So maybe he wants the one that comes to the States to find Adonis. Who knows? But that's interesting. I like that idea. What about that, guys? How do you feel? On your opinion, how do you feel about that? Let's see what's going on. Okay, there. That's the Drax I like. Drax is a straight up badass. I might prefer it. It's awesome. Redhead, Starfire, yes. Okay. Also, Damien is not. Damien is nothing but a. If you look at him, yeah, Damien, especially in Injustice 2. Oh my God, can't stand him in that movie. Can we give a one finger salute to Damien? There you go. Got some glory. Already did. People think he's burying talent. Yeah, he's not burying talent. He's not. I like Cena. I just like Batista better. Okay. I'm with you about Cena, Chris. I just hope that before his career in WWE is over, he turns heel and does I've kind of given up hope on that, Nathan, that he's gonna turn heel. I kind of given up that it's too late for that. It really is. It's if anything, it's not too late for Roman Reigns. They need to turn him heel. He gets so much heat. It would work in his advantage to be that heel. Like, could you imagine him like that? Like the heat he would get as a heel, like him coming out saying, "Yeah, I'm the guy that did this to the Undertaker. Yeah, I did it," and shove it in their face. Like, no one likes to be something shoved in their face. So how would you like somebody to keep just going like this to you? You get annoyed, right? And you be like, "Yo, can you stop?" Like, yeah. So I would love that. But Cena, I doubt it. That's not gonna happen. Um, hey, Devin, how you doing? Green Arrow Hunter, salute. Okay. I honestly, I think the Mutant Massacre would, in its own story, that would be cool. I wouldn't mind that. William Zedbuck played Johnny. Thank you, Omnitron. That was William Zabka. Thank you, Johnny. Okay. For one Mass Effect fan to another, what's your thoughts on Mass Effect Andromeda? I'm still playing through it, Devin. It's okay, but it's not as good as the original trilogy. It's not. I won't lie to you. It's not. It's fun, but I just look at it as another story in the Mass Effect universe. Hopefully, we get a new Mass Effect that kind of sticks to maybe the original trilogy. Mm. Okay, last topic, and then I'm all yours, guys, with the questions. Okay, I'll do it for an hour for you guys. All right. So last topic. Um, Let me make sure I get it right. All right. Mm, okay. This is once again. This is more on my '80s brats. My fellow '80s brats. And when I say that, guys, I mean no disrespect to anybody who wasn't born in the '80s, or especially '90s children of the '90s. I mean no disrespect. When you hear me say '80s was probably the greatest era for kids to grow up in, I mean no disrespect to the '90s, because I grew up in the '90s too, and '90s was fun too. Okay, don't ever feel like I'm overshadowing the '90s over my era, because I'm not. But check this out. This is another thing that I wanted to talk about, and I wanted to get you guys' opinion on it, because it's the opinion spot where I feel your opinion matters. And shout out to Omnitron for giving his opinion on every subject that I talk about. Definitely Omnitron. Shout out to you, bro. Not, I'm not disrespecting anybody else. Matt as well, and the West, and people like that. All you, Nathan. Thank you for giving your opinions on the subject that I talked about. Thank you very much. But the other topic is a classic from the '80s is being rebooted for NBC. And it's going to be produced by Vin Diesel producing it. I wanted to get my opinion on this. I'm get my opinion, and I want to get your opinions on it. Miami Vice was a classic cop drama back in the '80s. That dealt with a lot of harsh times back in the '80s. Weren't all peaches and creams. The drug trade was real high in the '80s, and Vice, yeah, Miami Vice was the show that touched on that, which starred Don Johnson and Michael Phillips, and Edward James Olmos, of course, um, Luzia Sanchez and Olivia Brown, and all those other actors and actresses on that show. Probably have one of the most famous theme songs ever. It was Badass theme, but they want to reboot it. Vin Diesel's producing it and wants to reboot it for NBC. It's in works. It's in works. Um, how do I feel about this? Okay. To me, Don Johnson will always be Crockett. He'll no matter what Don Johnson did after Nash Bridges, all the movies he's been in, blah 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 blah. He'll always be Crockett to me. It's Miami Vice is one of my favorite cop dramas. I made a list of my top 10 favorite cop dramas of all time. Miami Vice is up there. I can watch that show over and over and over and over and over. No matter how many times I've seen that show, I can watch it over and over and see all the up and coming A-list actors, A-list actors that we see now. Bruce Willis guest starring there, Liam Neeson guest starring on there. There were so many actors that we saw that have become big A-listers now was guest star on that show. It was a great show, but it was just showcased the day in the life of living undercover as a vice cop, a cop working vice. It was tough, and you really and when I was watching, I was still a kid, but my parents would always inform me on the different divisions in police and law enforcement. Vice. My mother would always tell me, it's probably one of the most scariest ones. Because you're dealing with drugs and narcotics and stuff like that, and it's your life almost is a lie to the underground. With this, guys, I can't not necessarily say I wouldn't necessarily think this would be bad because I love the reboot. I love the reboot of Hawaii Five-0. That's a classic series from back in the day. My dad grew up on, and I watched it when it went syndication. I watched it. MacGyver, the new MacGyver, is a remake. I watched that first season. I actually liked it. I was like, it's cool. The actor who played Alex, who played Havoc in X-Men, he's the new MacGyver, and it's a fun series. Excuse me. It's a fun series, and I'm glad that it got a second season. So I can't necessarily say I'm not against Vin Diesel producing a reboot of Miami Vice, a more modern take of it, but it still comes down to still having the essence of the characters, especially Crockett and Tubbs, and that's probably the biggest thing for me is I'm okay with it, but it's like, okay, who are gonna play Crockett and Tubbs? Will some of the old cast make cameos? Or what would be even cooler is that maybe Michael Phillips or Don Johnson will be the captain of this new age, Crockett and Tubbs. How cool would that be? That would be really major respect to those that came before. I love shit like that. I love when they do that. But yeah, I mean, we've seen this before. We've seen a lot of movies being made from old TV shows. 21 Jump Street, another show I grew up on. Even movies being turned into TV series. A prime example of that would be, for me, that's been really good. It was a real good TV adaptation of the classic movie franchise is Lethal Weapon. Have you guys ever sat down and watched the Lethal Weapon series with Damon Wayans and all that? It's really good. It's not trying to be like the movie. It's going its own route, and I respect it very much. But with this, the whole Miami Vice reboot, and I can't really say anything bad and say, oh, this would be stupid, because like I said, what I just say, I watched the new Hawaii Five-0. I love that series. I'm heartbroken that Grace Parks and Daniel Day Kim are not coming back, but I've been with it for 7 years. I'm not gonna abandon it now. That's always been my logic. Just because I don't like something that's happened, I don't abandon ship or for something because of two characters that I love are gone. I still support it in some way or fashion. So that is everything I wanted to talk about on this live edition of the Opinion Spot. I thank you all for you guys leaving me your opinions on the subject. I'm going to go down and read more and see what else your subject, your opinions on the factor. But other than that, you guys got me for an hour now. So you got me for an hour, and if like I said before, I'm eating on camera. I'm sorry, but I'm hungry. I didn't want to cook tonight, so I ordered something out. Philly cheesesteak. It's not really the authentic Philly cheesesteak, but a place that that is not too far from me makes a pretty damn good Philly cheesesteak, and they even mix it. You can actually have chopped up chicken, and it's a Philly chicken steak. You know, it's good. So yeah, but I apologize eating on camera. Even though most of you guys said it's all good, Chris. Okay. Now I'm answering the questions, and I'll answer also. I'll read out maybe your opinions on the last subject I talked about. The first one I want to go back to is Omicron. You talked about this real quick because I know most of the time you break out real quick, so I want to make sure I get to. Did you hear that DC has officially stated that Captain Marvel movie will most likely be the most lighthearted and fun movie they've ever done? I have. Also, Mighty Isis will be, in fact, be in The Legends of Tomorrow. I'm so hyped for that Captain Marvel. Yep. I wonder if they'll bring in her brother Osiris. I hope so. Okay. Now, whoa, Rakia, I haven't. Wow, it's been a long time. I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing? Do you think social justice warriors are ruining Marvel? It's kind of 50-50 with me. Let's see. What is your opinion on Dark Tower film? Shoujo, I haven't seen it yet. People have it's gotten bad ratings, but I don't give a damn what critics say. I usually see it for myself, you know. Then I'll see what it is. I'm not familiar with it because I didn't read any of the novels and stuff like that. So, but it looks interesting, and I'm a big Ezra Elba fan. I like Matthew McConaughey too, so I'll give it to Teen Titans equal no go. Dark Trilogy should have been a trilogy for longer. I guess. Dark Tower. Oh, okay. I don't know. Once again, guys, I've never read any of those. Should there be a Voltron vehicle with the Voltron? No. Don't do that. Don't do that. And yes, I have finished. And yes, for all those who don't know, Voltron, Legendary Defender on Netflix, season 3 is up. It's short, but it's still good. I will give you a full in-depth overview of the season. I think I may record it tomorrow. I'll try to get it up for tomorrow for you guys. What else did I want to? Because I gave you a quick thought of it not too long ago, and had somebody on there just go stupid, and I had a comment guy like, this was quick, blah blah blah. I'd expect more for someone who got over 7,000 subscribers. I'm like, dude, it's just a quick thought. I've done that before. I always give an in-depth overview. And once again, you guys coming to my defense. Like I said, I always appreciate you guys doing that. You don't have to, but you do it. I appreciate that. Shout out to Comic Freak X for doing that. If he's watching, if you're watching, Sean. And yes, Sean, I hope if you did you watch? I did do the Smash or Pass challenge that you created for me. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I will only do a Smash or Pass challenge if the if the requester makes the list, and you did it, you emailed it to me, and it's up now. You can go see. Go see. Yeah, go watch it. You should watch it. It's pretty funny. I thought it was pretty fun. I had a fun time doing it, but you get to see who I would smash or pass on. Maybe surprise on some of the people I would pass on. I ain't, but maybe you. Okay, I'm Deshaun. On the TNT version sounded weird since they had Hawk and Dove, Robin, Raven, and we're gonna be the Blackbirds, a bird themed Titans thing. Yeah, that was really stupid. Um, uh, I'm okay with the Raven casting. Yeah, I love that Raven is gonna be in the Teen Titans series. Sounds like they're gonna do Raven proper so far. What's your opinion, the Shoujo? What's your opinion on what they're gonna do with Venom film? Both good, bad, and ugly. Uh, I, I I don't know what. See, my problem with the movies that um Sony wants to do outside of Spider-Man, because it just this just proves once again they Sony can't let Spider-Man, they can't just let Marvel have their character really a part of them. They still got to keep that, some of that. So you're giving Venom a movie. Tom Hardy is going to play Eddie Brock. Tom Hardy's a good actor. Good actor. I loved him as Max, Mad Max. I thought he was a good replacement for Mel Gibson. But Eddie Brock, I mean, he can beef up for Eddie. I'm not saying that. It's just that Spider-Man is still needed for Venom. Venom is even if say, oh, Chris, they can go the ultimate route. Even still, Peter was still involved in that. And even they said Carnage is going to be the villain in that. It's just, that's just desperate to me. And then they're going to do movies, Silver Sable and Black Cat Shoujo. I like Silver Sable. I like Felicia Hardy. I don't like what Marvel's doing with her now. I don't. I hate what they're doing with her now. But in all honesty, what can you really do with them in terms of a movie? Like, what's the story? Once again, two characters, well, mainly one of two characters that really centers around Spider-Man. Felicia Hardy. It's just I I really don't care too much. um what is your opinion on the Netflix version? Netflix Shoujo. What's your opinion on the Netflix version on the Runways? Of the Runways? Runaways is gonna be on Hulu. Not on, it's either Hulu or what's the other, what is the other I forgot. It was ABC Family, but it's something else. Freeform, excuse me. I think it's gonna be on Hulu or a show, but okay. My favorite Runaway was probably Nico uh, Minora. I liked her the favorite. I said the same thing about when I heard about a Warriors TV. Yeah, are they still doing that Warriors TV show on Hulu? That's another one of my all-time favorite movies of all time. And I wasn't even born when that movie came out, but my dad showed it to me for the first time. I loved it. I love it. Still love it to this day. It's over there in my collection back there. Um, let me see. Yeah, somebody even said, yeah, showed you. Yeah, um, Hey, was okay. Let me see. Green Arrow. Okay, I answered that. Answered that. Okay. Uh, Diesel Fit Vogo. Do you think that the Netflix success will less mainstream with less mainstream heroes such as Jessica Jones? They could do an action comedy series with Squirrel Girl. Um. Well, if you haven't heard, um, Squirrel Girl is going to be a part of the Freeform TV series, The New Warriors, which pisses me the hell off. First of all, The New Warriors are not a joke. They're not a comedy act. And the fact that they're doing that with them, no respect. So basically, New Warriors was kind of Marvel's answer to the Titans, the grown-up Titans, Titans that got older. Or you can say Teen Titans because most of them were teens. The original members of the New Warriors, Night Thrasher, Dwayne Taylor, badass. You know, Kid Nova, Richard Rider, before he was still a teenager, where I think he was a Nova Guardsman. Remember, the Nova Corps has different levels of like promotions. Namorita, Namor's cousin, and Speedball, who was the comic relief kind of, but he was still cool. Firestar and Marvel Boy, or Justice now, what he's called now. Those were the members of the. In this version, they're only giving us two members of the founding members of New Warriors, Night Thrasher and Speedball. Night Thrasher looks like is playing by a kid. That's just nope. And I'm gonna have Squirrel Girl, a couple of secondary New Warriors that came in the other volumes, and but mostly characters that are part of the Great Lake Avengers. The Great Lake Avengers are basically a parody of the Avengers. Flat Man, Big Bertha, Mr. Immortal, Squirrel Girl. I will admit, I like Doreen. She's gonna be and you know who's playing Squirrel Girl? Remember the actress who used to do the AT&T commercials, the T-Mobile, no, not the T-Mobile, the AT&T mobile commercials. She's gonna play Squirrel Girl. Great casting, but no, no, don't make the New Warriors a comedy. And it's going to be on Freeform. The only show on Freeform that I will check out in terms of Marvel is the Cloak and Dagger show. I'm going to check that out because the way the way that trailer was that I watched, it pretty much still accommodates with the characters of Cloak and Dagger. They're changing a few things, but still there. Have I finished Riverdale? So I haven't even started it yet. I'm about to binge watch it real soon. It's on Netflix. Trying to finish out finishing iZombie, because when my cable I had to fix my cable. I did, and my uh my my I'm trying to remember my recorder, it HDR messed up, so I had to get a new box. So everything that was recorded on there that was saved, was gone. So I had to now, but thank God. I've always said thanks Hulu, thank Netflix for whenever a CW show ends, they instantly put that because they have that deal with Netflix. CW has that deal. Like once, look at the second season of Supergirl, third season of Flash, this season of iZombie, right up there. Arrow, I think, just went up too. So yeah, so I always think that. So, but I'm an Archie fan. I've always been an Archie. I've been an Archie fan for a long time. I get it from my mom. My mother was a big Archie fan. She used to love those books. Probably the only comics that my mom actually read. God bless you, mom. But yeah, she loved Archie. I don't know what she would think about this version, but uh, I, I think she'd give it a shot though. I definitely have to watch it, but it's good stuff. See, I refused to watch Rocky because I didn't want to see Apollo die in Rocky. Yeah, I can get that. I remember when I first saw it back in the day when I was a kid, I cried, and I wanted Rocky to beat um beat Ivan Drago up so badly. I wanted him to kill Drago back in the day. Um, yep. Um, I must break you. Yeah. Tweet. Oh man, fuck. Cool it, Mega Man. Cool it. Cool it, Mega. Um. Let's see. What do we do? I'm trying to get everybody. Okay. Creed 2 this time is personal. I hope it's not. I don't want it to be a match between Ivan and Adonis. I want him to continue his story, but I do want a sit down between them where Adonis is basically saying, like, why'd you kill him? Did you have to kill him? What was going through your mind? Because let's remember that match was an exhibition match. It was just an exhibition. That wasn't nobody supposed to get killed. You know. That would be Orange. Okay. Ever play Watch Dogs since the Death Witch trailer? I've been playing the first one again. I have Watch Dogs. It's on my Xbox. I have it digitally. Um, you took something valuable from me. Experiences taught me not to back down. Probably not. I was a thief. I got in. I got out. No one got hurt until they took something from me. No, I'm coming for them. I love that. I still love that the trailer to the first Watch Dogs. I still watch that trailer. I love that. Uh, I remember that match and watch him say, "I quit." What and following? Oh, good. Okay. Since vigilante justice, do you think a Punisher game in the style of GTA could work? Yeah, kind of. Punisher game could work. Um, yeah, like Punisher, like Watch Dogs. That kind of scrolling open world. Yeah, it could work. Kind of now. Sometimes that's the way to go with certain hero characters. Open world. Punisher could could do that, but still keep some of the aspects of the previous Punisher game. Like remember the torture scenes in the past Punisher games where you had to press the button and stuff like that. I love those. That was cool. Because Punisher just can't be a first person shooter. That's been done. to death already. Oh yeah, he's a vigilante with guns, so you gotta make it a first person. No, no, you don't. So to answer your question, I'm trying. It could work. Guts and Glory. Have you seen the Stephen King miniseries, The Stand? Nope. There's a lot of Stephen King stuff I haven't seen. I try to do as early as I can. I don't play Skyrim. I had a friend who passed away, used to love those games. I don't play Skyrim. But I don't know, it just doesn't intrigue me. Sorry. When will you do Fine Brother reaction again? That's gonna be for a while. So I feel like coming back to it. Taking a hiatus from those for a while. But don't think I haven't been watching them and seeing what's been going on. And I still get messages from Jenny, and she always asks me how I'm doing, and still kind of replies to me, "Oh, we're putting up this." I keep saying I don't know if she works for Fine Brothers or not, but she always says we are putting up. We've just put up a new vid and everything like that, and I'm just like, okay, I'm watching it, and so, but she still follows me. She's liking the work I'm doing in terms of reactions. She likes. I think the last one she enjoyed the most was my Black Panther reaction. Oh my God, that was just legit. That video has now, I think it's over 20,000 views. I think I gotta check again, or it's over 15,000 views. The latest one she said she watched was my Thor Ragnarok, and once again, I appreciate everybody who's come around saying best reaction on YouTube. Look, I don't fake my reactions; those are just legit. That's just how I am. Like, I see stuff that I know. Hulk was facing the furnace wolf, the fucking furnace. I was like, then going back and seeing they're paying homage to Man Thing, Beta Ray Bill, and shit like that. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm a '90s kid at heart. 80s, '90s. Who cares about stuff that came from? Who cares? Good stuff came from back then. Yeah, they did. You're welcome, Chris. Okay, I can feel the air tonight. Coke. Oh. I get it. Wasn't there a Miami Vice movie with Jamie Foxx? Yes, Matt. There wasn't Jamie. There was a movie. Jamie Foxx played Tubbs and Will Ferrell played Crockett. It was okay. It wasn't bad. Not bad at all. I agree with you, though. I agree, though, Chris. Nathan, I agree with you, Chris. Though I think that Apollo got too cocky going up against Drago, thinking that it would be just be a red man costume. But yeah, it did. Um, and I also think you gotta also remember the time when that movie came out. At that time, I think the Cold War was still going on somewhat. So Soviets and it was always still going on, and Rocky said, I gotta stop this fight, man. And remember. And what did don't stop this fight no matter what. I would have stopped the fight no matter. I would have rather taken the consequences of maybe losing Apollo's friendship than seeing him die in the ring. Because that's what he said. Don't stop this fight. And that's why I love in Creed, it was brought up again. Like he was like, I'm gonna stop this fight. I'm not gonna do what I did with your father. I'm gonna stop this fight. And but the reason why I love that line too, where Adonis said, "No, don't stop the fight. I have to find out. I have to prove that I'm not a mistake." That teared me up, yo. When he said that, I was like, "Oh shoot!" And I felt the waters coming down. I was like, "I get it." But yeah, it did cost him. It cost him big time. 2000 kid, but I love the class. That's fine. That's fine. Um, and in the next Creed movie, I hope that we get a scene with Rocky and Drago. I know Rocky hasn't forgotten about Drago did to. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. It's like we wonder how Rocky gave that big speech at the end of that movie, but it's also you know he did get some salvation in revenging Apollo's death somewhat after beating Drago, who was this superior athlete. He was steroids, man. Come on, let's be honest. He was juiced up. Um, go watch the anime major. What's up, guys? Am I good? What up? Um, most of you guys, you guys can call me Chris. I try to tend to be very social with my subs. You don't have to use my YouTube name. You guys can call me Chris. You want to call me Christopher, that's fine. But everybody knows, if you know me, I've always said it like, nobody calls me Christopher unless I'm in trouble. My full name is never used unless I'm in trouble. Let's see. Looks like damn, Chris, I need some food now. Oh, see, I'm new. I'm making you guys hungry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Have you seen? Watched that already. But Chris is so weird. Like, well, thank you. I love being weird. I'm always weird. You get inside my head, you don't want to leave it. Being weird is normal, not different. We're all different. Weird? I'll take that as a compliment. Right, Hurricane? Give me some. Yeah, there we go. Anyway, but unfortunately, I got jerky and root beer. Ooh, root beer. What kind of root beer? I love root beer. I was gonna get me a root beer, but I started to go with a Sierra Mist. I've been cutting back on soda a lot lately, but I had a craving for. I have one once in a while. I don't have too much. I watched Rush Hour, and man, I was sad when it got canceled. Really? Oh man, I couldn't watch that series. I no. I was like, nah. The funny thing is, the actor who played Carter on that show is on the new MacGyver, but I couldn't watch that. I was like, nah. You cannot replace Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. You can't. You can't. There are certain things that just can't. No matter how much you try, they try to be too much like from the movies, and that just didn't work. Go watch the Lethal Weapon series. It's on you can watch it on Hulu, the complete season. It's only like 12 episodes first season. They act totally different mostly than as Roger Murtaugh and Martin Riggs. Damon Wayans pays a lot of homage to Danny Glover, but you could see it's still he's still doing his own version of this character. Yeah, the old Wi-Fi series, you had characters who would come and go back, but Jack was always the one that stayed. Yeah, I know it's saddening to see. It was really sad. Now, I don't want to get into the whole idea of it was about money. They weren't getting enough as Stephen Danny, Alex O'Loughlin and Scott Kahn. It's just that it's they were a well-oiled machine. You know what I'm saying? They were already a well-oiled machine. So why break them up? Why break them up? That's all I'm saying. So as long as he's still on, Hawaii Five will be a show. It probably will before he decides to leave too. Well, he has talked about him leaving the show. Shoujo Street Fighter topic: should the first gen fighters Rezo, Genji, make comebacks and returns? Yes. Talked about this plenty of time with other fellow Street Fighter fans. The original members of the first Street Fighter, we should see a lot of those characters come back. Now, the latest new character is a character. They're bringing a lot of old characters from the Final Fight series. Abigail's the next one. And I'm like, okay, I've always said Eagle. I would love to see Eagle back in a game. When was the last time we saw Eagle in a fighting game? Marvel vs. Capcom 2. No, not Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel vs. SNK 2. That was the last time we saw Eagle that I can remember. That I remember seeing him in. But yeah, they should make returns. So Chris, what are your thoughts on the Runaway series and Hulu? Like I said, I'm okay with it. I'm gonna check it out, see what it do. Just they better stay true to character, especially Nico. I want her staying true to her character. Actually, the rest of the season 3 is coming in October or November. Can't remember. They split. Oh, they split. Oh, so they split it up. Okay, because I was wondering, like, really 7 episodes? That's it. So they split it up. Okay. I did not know that. Thank you for telling me. Thank you. Brofist, bam. Okay. Haters gonna hate. Voltron is the shit. Voltron has always been the shit. The original, I still love the original. Even the original, the Go Lions, but hell, they're even talking about Netflix is even gonna do a reboot for the anime Super Sentai. Sentai Saya. What we saw over here in the States, well, I already knew about it, but when they brought it here on Toonami, they called it Knights, Warriors of the Zodiac or something like that, where when they were bleeding, they made it blue, and they said that was energy coming out of that crap, and it was, yeah, but they're talking about rebooting that. So I'm like, I'm all for that. Let's see. But I'm doing whatever team up. Okay. Just finished watching the Smasher. Okay. Thank you. Okay. I'll say this once again to you guys. Let me make sure. If any of you guys are gonna like, you know what? I'm gonna do what Comic Freak X did. I'll make a list for him, and let's see him do this list. I've said it before. You can do it because that's the only way I'll do another one. I won't do it myself. If you do, here's like I said before. The limit is 8. The minimum is 8. The max is 12. And you send it to me via my personal email. My personal email is always in the description. So if any time you just want to email me something, and you just want to email and say, "Hey, Chris," there you go. Just there it is. That's where you email to. Email me the list, and I'll do it. That's the only way to do it. Yeah, even the Lethal Protector Spider-Man was involved. Actually, because Kevin Feige confirmed Venom and all the other Sony-based movies are gonna be canon to the MCU, sort of like, they kind of are gonna be kind of like that, sort of, still kind of canon to the MCU, kind of like, with the Netflix series. They're in that category, but kind of in their own, excuse me, their own bubble. I understand that, but it's still like most of the characters they want to use, it still needs Spider-Man. They still need Spider-Man. How, are they just going to go with Venom being just the lethal protector, or that it just doesn't feel right to me. I heard that they're going to do a Victor. I heard this bullshit too, man. Fox, just keep twisting the knife a little more. Why don't you? Come on, let's be real. Come on, let's be real. What are they doing? What are they really doing with the FF, with the First Family? Nothing. They're doing nothing. Now, Mad Mikkelsen playing the character, I got no problem. The man's a good actor. You know, I really, you know, in some retrospect, he should have been Baron Mordo instead of Ecclefort. I liked Ecclefort as you know, as Baron Mordo, seeing him come into becoming what he's supposed to be, kind of like they kind of did a little bit of Sinestro, a little bit like, remember, Sinestro was part of the Corps first, and then his road to that happened. But yeah, I'm hearing Mads is actually is attached to playing Victor Doom. Fox, just keep twisting it with me. You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. You're killing me. Come on, like, you're killing me. And I love to hear somebody kind of defend them about what they're doing. Nothing. They're only doing this to hold those rights. That's it. They're doing nothing. It's about time we see Victor Von Doom in the MCU. Could you imagine him interacting with Tony at some point? It would have been really cool to see him interacting with Tony Stark, or, you know, finally hearing them talk about Latveria and Doom just sitting on his throne and doing shit and knowing he could get away with it because he got diplomatic immunity. They fucked up Doom twice already. They're gonna go thrice. Keep twisting it, fuckers. I'm sorry, guys. The day that Dan Slott hops off of Made Inspire, what writer do you think in mind can replace him? Anybody. Anybody, God, please. Anybody. I don't care. Just get him off that book, please. Just get him off that book. Please. He doesn't know what he's doing anymore. God damn it. Get off the book. Anybody, please. Great spirits, please help me, please. Okay. Been waiting for the Justice League movie for years. This better be good. I can concur. I can concur on that. I am looking forward to the Justice League movie, but I was more looking forward to the Wonder Woman movie more, and I got what I wanted with the Wonder Woman movie. It's great. I can't wait to the sequel, which is going to take place during the Cold War. Please let it be Cersei's. Please, Cersei's. Please, Cersei's. Yeah, but I am looking forward to it. It looks like Aquaman is definitely going to be that one that's going to stand out, because Momoa's Aquaman is going to be totally different. You can just see it. He's going to be a lot different than. But I've always liked Aquaman. I know there's a lot of people that don't like him. You know, and I've always said this: if DC had always stated that the guy is not, he just doesn't talk to fish. He's got super strength. His skin is so durable. Bullets bounce off of him, and the reason why is because you gotta have tough skin like that to be going into depths that deep. The same thing with Namor. You know, a bullet don't hurt him. Knives don't hurt him, really. You know, and that's somebody I'm looking forward to seeing on the MCU. Namor, because I think Marvel has the rights. I would love to see a scene, end scene, credit scene, or something. And next, you know, I've always pictured Namor. Remember, Cowboy Bebop? There was an episode where Spike and them were. I think it was the episode when they first was introduced to Ein, the little Welsh corgi dog, and the guy Hakeem was in it, and these kids were playing and they were fishing in the river, and they're like, "Oh, I got a bite! Oh, it's a big one!" They start pulling it out, and then, you know, he just came out of the water and just looked at it, and then they like, hey, what time is it? Oh, three in the plane. I've always imagined that would be how Namor come out of water. The Atlanteans would come out, or him just coming out and say something like, tell me where the president, or tell me where your leader is. The surface world leaders are, and something like that. Namor being kind of a dick, but just maybe picking the kid up and tell me where they are, and this so I don't know, but yeah, I'm just saying. But yeah, I mean, I think the Justice League movie is gonna be good. The last trailer was really fun. Hearing that was Steppenwolf. Somebody told me it was Darkseid talking, but hearing him talk about this world has no Guardians, no Lanterns, no. I was like, there's your drop right there. There's your drop. There's your Green Lantern drop. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I always look forward to all the movies. I support all the hero movies. I try to. The ones I like, I don't look at, I want nothing but success for the DC extended universe, as much as I want success for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Do you think we will ever see an amazing slapstick movie? I doubt that. There's a character that should have been a comedy on TV show. Can you all dig it? Pretty much. If you're talking about Booker T, I love Booker T, one of my all-time favorites, and he's also probably one of the most well-respected guys, in my opinion, in the wrestling biz. That if you're talking about Booker T, sorry. See, I was like a freshman in high school back then. Damn. Okay. The Russo brothers are still working on it, I think. Yeah, I think so too. Oh, you're talking about the Warriors, okay. Also, does anyone know what comic book team consists of Forge, Havoc, Mystique, Wildchild, and a few others? I love it, but only saw one issue. I forgot the name and want to see more. Forge, Havoc, Mystique, Wildchild. Extinction? I think that's what you're talking about. I think. I could be wrong on that one. Hey, bro. Hey, Vernon. How's Philly? Well, thanks for trying, Mark. Okay, Matt was handling it. AT&T girl, yeah. Cloak and Dagger hype. Tyrone Magnus versus Blasphemous HD in a fight. Who win? You're gonna put one of my mentors on blast like that. Sorry, Blast. Yeah, everybody knows. If it wasn't for Tyrone Magnus, I wouldn't do reactions now. I've always told him that too. He was the one that inspired me. So the times I call him mentor. Same thing with Blue Goblin. If it wasn't Blue Goblin, I wouldn't do comic reviews on YouTube. Which I know I know you probably guys have been missing those. I've been reading, but I just haven't put up stuff. I apologize for that. But Tyrone. Blasphemous. Blast. He talks a big game at times. I don't know if it's legit, but that sounded like, is he legit or is he just making that up? He always used to talk about how that's why he doesn't like reacting to a lot of scary stuff, because the way he reacts is like, at first I'm like, he's got to be faking this. Like he'll start watching those react vids like they're scary, and he'll stop for a minute and be like, what the fuck was that? And he'll go look around and stuff, like, and then at the end he'll say why. He's like, look, I don't fucks with this stuff because when I was a kid I used to live in a haunted house, and it's just like, and I listened to him when he talked about that, and the more I listened to him, I'm like, this guy's not playing. He's legit serious about this. The way he talked, and that's sometimes I've always thanked my parents for that, because I can read people a little easily when they talk to me, and And my mom was good at reading people's, and I kind of get that from her. And so when you're engaging me in conversation, I'm also evaluating you kind of in a sense, like, you know, he's not lying, you know. And so when he was doing that, I was like, yo, he's legit. He's serious, you know. But there are times like I wonder sometimes, but no. But Tyrone, I go with Tyrone. In terms of you talking about real fight, I'm like, yeah. Let's see what we got here. What's next? Okay, I'm missing a bunch of questions. Oh God damn. All right, term isn't that obvious. Last might rub his head. Okay, huge Archie fan here too. I actually own a replica of Jughead's hat. Oh, you serious? The Oh, that's cool. Fun fact: Jughead's hat is actually Whoopi Whoopi hat and was popular back. Yeah, yeah. Good eye, good eye. Uh, does fit. You think that they could ever introduce werewolf? Who, yo, first of all, who are you? Give me. I want your real name. I want your real name, dude, lady. I don't know what you are. I want your real name because there's only a few people I know that talk about Jack Russoff, Werewolf by Night. I want your name, and you get an eternal you bro fist for that, or sister fist. I don't. You bow. I'll dab for you. Whatever. Werewolf by Night. Oh my God, Jack Russell. Oh my God. The only way I can see them doing that is Netflix. That is the only way. Well, no. Let me. No. No. Let me kind of done properly. Yes, Netflix. No, I shouldn't. Let me shut that off too because look what they did with Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider in Agents of Shield. That's probably the best thing about Agents of Shield last season. That's all I watched it for. I was like, and once he left, I was like, okay, I don't even want to watch it no more. Don't get me wrong, I love Coulson and all the actors on there, but it's just like that show can't keep me tuned for too long anymore. Um, when it got oversaturated with the whole Inhumans thing, and I don't know, it just lost me after a while. But when they brought Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider, I was hooked. But the reason why they had to stop it because he cost too much. I knew that. I was like, man, that's got to be a lot of money for those special effects. But if they could do Jake Russoff, big, Werewolf by Night, introduce werewolves, the lycanthropy, I would love that. I'm still waiting for Blade. I think we all still waiting for Blade. But he needs to be done with respect and proper. Once I had a friend that asked me, okay, Chris, if they do it, would you want to see him in his classic look? And I'm like, and when he first, I said, not really. And he's like, what? The classic look, the black trench coat. I was like, no, the black trench coat is not his classic look. He's like, yes, it is. I'm like, no, it's not. Go back to Tomb of Dracula. He's wearing bright neon. Where's that bottle? The color of this bottle, Sierra Mist bottle, is basically the color of what Blade used to wear. He had fro, the goggles, brown pants, boots, and a sword, and his trench coat was like this color green. That's his. And I had to tell this guy. I had to tell a friend of mine. I'm telling my friend David. I'm like, David. I'm like, Dave. No, look it up. He's like, it's the black trench coat, like what Snipes wearing. I'm like, no, it's not. Look it up. And I kept saying, look it up. Okay, I'll look it up. And Siri, what's Blade from Marvel's first look? Didn't work because I don't think Siri knew that shit. But I just said, look it up. Just type it in. What came up? What do you think came up? His classic look. Don't doubt me. And I looked at him. I'm like, I don't want to blow my own horn or blow my own bubble, but didn't I just tell you that? You know, was I right? Yeah, you're right. You know, but it would be kind of funny to see it like they did with in Luke Cage. He paid homage to his classic look, but he's like, oh hell no, and he took it off. You know, but that's stuff like that I like. And so if they did a Blade series and he did that just because maybe something happened or he's undercover or something, I'll take that. But Werewolf by Night, hell fucking yeah, man. I think that would also be the perfect time to introduce Moon Knight, because Moon Knight first appeared in Werewolf by Night. That was the first time. Anyway, I still want your name. I want your name. I must salute you properly, ma'am or sir, or whatever your gender is. Okay. Let's see, that would be cool. That I know fought. Okay. The one thing I also can't wait in terms of comics is the meeting, the reunion between Danny and Sabretooth. They're gonna meet again. I'm like, it's been too long since they met, since Sabretooth debuted. That's where he first debuted in Iron Fist. In the comics, Danny and Sabretooth are gonna meet again. I can't wait to read that. Let's see. Okay. Name a moment in anime that made you want to cheer the hero to beat the villain's ass. For me, it was Kenshi and Janai. There's a couple of them. If I was to think back, and there's so many, but I think one of them would probably be I'm trying to, because there's so many. There's so many. Devin. There's so many. Devin. It's just okay. Well, when okay, let's go with Dragon Ball. How about that? There's an anime. Oh, when Frieza killed Krillin right in front of Goku. I was like, Goku, you better fuck him up. Fuck him up. Like, he killed your best friend in front of you. Kill him. Get him. I want him. There's a couple ones of Kenshi from from Rurouni Kenshin, probably one of my all-time favorite animes of all time. Oh man, Yu Yu Hakusho had a bunch of them too. Jesus Christ, there was so many. So yeah, there's so many. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, Punisher was giving people swirls. What the hell? Okay, now that you think about it, okay, he's talking. Somebody's talking. Okay. You guys are talking. Probably okay. I like Lee Shriver's. Lee Shriver did a good job as Sabretooth. He did. I was so pissed at those teens for saying Digimon was a great Walmart. Oh yeah, you talking about the whole what's the name? Yeah, man. You know what? You know what? I go back every once in a while. I go back and watch those old reactions from the Fine Brothers or React, and my view on most of them are still the same. You know, like Pokemon maybe this, but it's like At least with Digimon, the characters grow up. They get lives. We see character progression. Digimon, we don't see shit. I mean, not Digimon. I mean, Pokemon, you don't see shit. Ash has digressed, not progressed. You see what I'm saying? It's like they want to keep this guy eternally a kid. And how is he gonna? It's like, what the fuck is? How the fuck is he supposed to become a Pokemon master if you're not having him win tournaments over the course of his years? This dude should be killing cats, like up and comers, like new people that just want to challenge. And he's having a hard time. And I'm like, wait, Ash, you should be demolishing these people, like just like that. But he don't. And people just crack on Digimon. I don't know why people crack on. And so that's why I said, fuck all them people that said, fuck all you guys. Like, fuck that, man. At least Digimon can think for themselves as well. Pokemon, you gotta do your attack. They don't even remember. There's a video a while back on YouTube. I'm trying to remember who made it. Let me see if I can find it real quick. For everybody who wants to check out what I'm talking about, in the video, it's making fun of Pokemon. It's so funny. If you ever want to check it out, it's called let me make sure. It's called Awesome Series Poke Awesome, just a Pokemon. And in that, it's an animated short where Ash he's all fat in this, and he's all like, and he speaks more like, he's like, oh, Pikachu, use your bolts, and he's all got this high squeaky voice, and this other guy's got a Venusaur, and the Venusaur, he's like, and the guy gets, oh no, Venusaur, counterattack, whatever counterattack, whatever move man, and the Venusaur says, okay, wait, Venusaur, what? I mean, dude, I don't know my fucking attacks, man. He's like, Venusaur. He's speaking normal, but then he keeps going Venusaur with a question mark. He's like, I don't know my fucking attacks, man. You're supposed to know. You're supposed to know that shit, not me. And then he's like, well, and it goes back and forth, but it's so funny. And it's like, that's what Pokemon has come down to, in my opinion. It's like that. The Pokemon are dense. They don't know their own attacks anymore. They become so domesticated. But even when the Digimon find their partners, they still think for themselves. They do it. It's like, it's so stupid. And I hate when people razz on Digimon. I hate it. I was so pissed too, Major. You see? Those kids were just being ignorant. Yeah, that's why I also look at it too. When I go back and watch a lot of these things, I realize that my anger kind of has gone down over the past, and some of the people who still watch them, they think it's funny, and I'm glad I made you laugh. I can make you laugh. That's great. But they're kids. They didn't grow up in that. But sometimes I hate when people are using that excuse, like they weren't born in that era. And I say it again. I said, my brother is a 90s baby. He didn't grow up in my era, but he knows. And my brother will always say, I always think that I had a brother that grew up in the 80s. I educated that kid so quickly onto that 23-year-old onto so much stuff that was poured into my head. He got it now. It's like, that's why when it comes to all the videos, when they're doing reacting to the videos from the 60s and 70s, I know that stuff because my mom and dad were playing that music around the house all the time. I'm not in the same house I was now when I was a kid, but I was always listening to that music. So it comes natural to me, and most of the time you see on those videos, I cry because they start reminding me of a certain someone, and stuff like that I can't hold back. But sometimes they're ignorant, but sometimes I got my favorites. I have my favorite kids, the favorite teens on there, and I got my favorites. I got my least favorite. because I really got a problem with him. If somebody asked me if I actually saw him in person, I'd probably deck him or just grab his ass and educate this fool. Like, you're gonna listen to this. You're gonna learn. You're gonna learn today. Something like that. For fuck's sakes, who doesn't know Batman yet? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Have you ever played or read Metro 23 series? I played a few of the series. I was born in okay, this is people talking. A&W root beer. Ooh, good one. I love A&W. Good one. So what if I'm crazy? The best people are, right, Hurricane? See? Yeah. Hurricane agrees. Do you remember what Bridget Nielsen said in Rocky IV when she denied allegations of Drago steroid use? She said he is like your Popeye. He eats his spinach. I remember. Yeah, I did. I remember that. You're right. He was juicing up. We saw the needle. What the fuck you talking about? All right, Chris, I got it. I'll watch that show. Um, let's see. Uh, have you tried the DD S'mores donut? I don't know how much calories and sugar. Dunkin' Donuts. I've had it once. It's okay. Okay, check this out. When I go to Dunkin' Donuts, Joe, the only thing I'm getting there is mainly. I don't go there in the summertime as much. If I do, they usually have like the ice cooladas and stuff. But when I go in the winter, I definitely go in the wintertime. I just give me a extra large thing of hot chocolate. That's it. I love hot chocolate. Let's see. Uh, Anime major. Yes, we all are weird. Okay, I'm in Tron. I finished my jerky now. So Snap and he says, "Oh yes, rest in peace, Macho." But yes, Snap does. I love Slim Jim. I love Slim Jims too. Um, okay, I love in terms of jerky. I like Jack Link's jerky, so I am down with Sasquatch. Um, I like and I like just the regular Slim Jims. Jack Link also do the when I get Slim Jims, I usually get the big ones, the very long ones. Um, I love those. I love that. Jack Links, they'll have the big bag. They're expensive though. Man, that's the only problem. I always try to wait to uh, they are on sale. Like Jack Links, that was definitely. See, you guys keep getting to know me more. Okay, I wish we'd get a new Final Fight. Yes, I would love to see a new Final Fight. Not that crap. Streetwise, oh my God, I could not take that. Oh God. Um. Also, the 13 Doctors, a girl, and I love it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Nobody's asked me about that. How do I feel about? I'm a Whovian. I am a Whovian. Nobody asked me about that. Yeah, the Doctor will regen into a female. I don't mind it at all. There's a lot of people taking it too serious, going crazy over it. It's like, why couldn't the Doctor become female? I mean, does he always have to into a male? Why not? I'm gonna really look at that. What's the only thing is I just don't want it to have been done because everybody kept saying, oh, Doctor should become a girl. If they don't play that up and just look at it as just Doctor female now, it's fine. If they play it up almost every episode, then I'll have a problem with it because it's like, okay, stop, like enough, stop. Don't play that. There's no need for that. No spoilers. That's not a spoiler. That hit the web a long time ago, Joe. That's major spoiler. What's your opinion on Metro 4? My girl Sam is coming back. You goddamn right, I'm happy for her. Samus, my second favorite Nintendo character, above the plumber. Have you Have you owned a Switch system? No, I don't. My brother usually gets the Nintendo systems. I don't get the stuff like that. I got my Xbox One, my PS4 is down there. Um, my Xbox 360 is there. I still have my Dreamcast down there. My PS2 is still on there. In another room, in another back room, I have the first Xbox, the GameCube. A lot of the classic systems are back there. But my brother said he wants to get a Switch. He's talking about it. I definitely either he gets it or not because I gotta play my Link. I gotta play my Link, man. I heard rumors that Doom movie is smoke and screen and the fact that it's a Marvel movie. I hope I don't. War Doctor. God, okay. Speaking of Cowboy Bebop, there's a live action series happening. Yeah, I heard about that. Uh, I still think they want Keanu Reeves to play Spike. They probably could do it. John Wick kind of really solidified him back on top now. Yeah, they talked about that a long time ago. Let me make sure I got everything. My name. Okay, my name is Nate, bro. Hey, okay, Nate. So we got two Nathans here. Okay, two Nate. Okay, bam. There you go. Booyah. That's for you for saying Jack Russell. Russell. They switched the names a couple of times, but that's respect for saying Werewolf by Night. Okay, yeah, you look like a damn fool. Yep, that's what he said. It was funny. I want to see the Two Gun Kid, Red Wolf in the MCU. Actually, Red Wolf as a half Muscovy, I geek the fuck out when there's a native. I I'm Cherokee myself, so yeah, I have the utmost respect for when Native American characters come. My mother my mother was Cherokee. My dad's black. So uh, and I got my other makeup. I've actually researched my DNA, like the DNA test to see like where my ancestry comes from, and it's all over the place actually. But I've always represented being of two nations of people, black and native, being Cherokee, and so I understand what you're saying, Omnitron. I get that too. I'd love to see Red Wolf. I would love to see them. First of all, the Two Gun Kid or the Rawhide Kid. I would love to see Marvel do some movies where the heroes from back in the day, like I said, back in maybe like a Western style. That would be cool. They still can do it. Like here's some movies like they don't need to be really big budget movies because these are westerns. They don't really have to be so big. The Two Gun Kid and Rawhide Kid and Red Wolf and people like that. It would be so cool. It really would. That's why I'm so harsh when getting to see they're gonna have a Thunderbird in that new Gifted. I'm looking at that guy and I'm just like, uh, you is he really? Is he? Is he native or is he not? I understand. But then I'm also like, he's not. Is he really playing off John Proudstar's powers right? Bobo Stewart, who played Thunderbird, he's native. I was really happy for him. I was like, wish he was a little bigger, but I was happy for him. And now Danny Moonstar's coming. And I look at the girl is playing her. I'm like, I looked up, I'm like, she better be half native or something. I looked up and it says she is, but I'm still like, she still looks a little too light. I'm like, the New Mutants cast just looks too whitewashed, and I'm just like, and don't get me started on Sunspot. Don't get me started on Cecilia Reyes and that. I'm like, what the fuck, Fox? Like, you did it again. Like, again, you screwed up on Sunspot again. Naruto versus Pain is a good one. Yes, indeed. Naruto versus Pain is good. That I love. First of all, I love that one for a reason, because after the fight, Naruto got the respect that he deserved. He finally achieved what he's been wanting to achieve. That the whole village cheered him. Something that he's always wanted, just to be acknowledged as belonging. I love that. I actually cried when that happened for him. I cried for that. I was so happy for him. Yep. For Red Wolf or even Two Gun Kid in the moment, I'd rather it be as similar to a show like McCloud with a Western style. Oh, see, Bro Fist again, another classic TV show, McCloud. A lot of people probably don't know what he's talking about. Y'all know nothing about that. See, I probably don't, but yeah, McCloud was another classic Western show, another cop drama, but kind of Western style. Let me. You guys ever seen the oh God, I'm forgetting the name. Oh God, what's the name of the movie? Guy in a car and he's being chased by. It's a Stephen King movie, and he's being chased by this guy in a truck. What's the name of that movie again, guys? I'm forgetting the damn name. But the actor that was in that, he was in McCloud. It was a good show. That'd be cool too. I could take that. Goku versus Frieza. Sort of like the show Justified, which it should haven't. If you should haven't seen, it's amazing. Justified. I think I've seen that. I'm done with Ash Ketchum. New character, please. Okay. Justified is basically at yours, who goads criminals into drawing first so he could. Oh, I think I've seen that. Oh wait, that's with Timothy Oliphant, right? Yeah, I've seen that. There you go. Yeah, I have. I've seen that. I think I have. Yeah, I've seen that. Speaking of which, I remember someone on YouTube did a US/Japanese episode list where they don't show episodes in America when they interesting. Yeah, there have been several animes along a lot of them actually that when some of them that come over here they don't show because into their eyes it's edgy. Um let me I can tell you right now. Okay, take out one right now for you. All right. This is the complete set of Outlaw Star. Now when Outlaw Star came here to the States for Toonami back in the day, they're about to bring it back on and they're trying to showcase it as it's being new. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? Anyway, they only showed 25 or 26 episodes, where it has actually 26. They skip an episode when Gene and the gang are about to go into the galactic ley line. There's an episode before that. You get to see where Gene got the caster bullets. The caster bullets. You see where he got those bullets from in that episode. When they're going into the galactic ley line, he's like, I got 2 number 9s and a 10, and they said not to use these ones because they drain your soul. You see where he get it from. There's an episode, because in that episode, you actually see Asia nude. She's actually naked. She's butt naked. They were like hot springs. And Asia because she's a Katal. You know, she can survive in boiling hot molten water, look like lava. And she got up and saw Jean looking at her, and she's like, "Oh, Jean, if you just wanted to see me, here you go." And she's butt naked, boobies and all. They cut that episode out. A lot of episodes, Sailor Moon with Sailor Uranus and Saturn, right? I think it's Saturn. Venus? No, Uranus. Because they're gay. They are always showcased as being cousins. And it's like, no cousins are that close with each other. Like the way they edit that stuff, I hate when they do that. I hate, and I think, and some people they think that anime is for kids. It's not for kids. Some of it is not for kids. It is for more adult theme. You know, even Dragon Ball. What the hell? Um, even Dragon Ball, to a sense, is that way. What the hell? Who keeps bugging me? Uh, uh, God damn it, who's bugging me? Okay. Um. So yeah, it's that's the way it is. But yeah, you see that a lot. God, look at what they did to One Piece when it first came. My God, did they edit the fuck out of that? I hate when they edit stuff like that. I hate that. I hate that. Let's see. Uh, hashtag Ethan. What the hell? Ethan, what? Okay, I'm trying to see it. All right. Ethan. I saw it. I just saw it. Hashtag. Oh, Ethan. Oh God. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm sure at least a lot of fans are excited about the third. Yeah, yeah. Night people. Major. Okay. I'm in Tron. Also, at least they confirmed Time Lords can change gender as a long time ago. So there you go. Once again, I'm pretty excited for the female Doctor. Yeah. Last question. Name any weapon from anime and video games you would like to add to your collection. The caster, um, the reverse blade, the dragon slayer. That's Guts' big sword. A Zambato just from Bleach. Uh, Ebony and Ivory, Dante's guns. There's a couple of the dragon sword, but I'll probably can I just hold it, Mr. Hayabusa? He'd probably let me, but if you try to steal it, I'm gonna kill you. Oh no, I won't take it from you. I promise. Can I see it? It's nice. Oh, what's that? No, just not. No, I wouldn't do that. That's funny. Um, okay. Been watching since your fantasy fight. I was like, this dude speaks my language. Big. Oh my God. Okay, so you're a longtime fan. I did not know. Okay, so I did not know. I didn't know, Nate. But thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Man, that fantasy fight was a long time ago. That was my first fantasy fight I ever came up with it. I thought it was fun. And would you know it? Bat and the Sun would do it. So, because it's an actual cool fight. Who wouldn't want to see Wolverine and Predator go at it? And why? And I made legitimate reasons why Predator's, a lot of his stuff wouldn't work on Wolverine. His optic camouflage wouldn't work. Wolverine would smell him coming. He'd still smell him. That was fun. Uh, live, what's it? Live anime live action has always ended in tragedy. Somewhat. Some of them, not really. You don't buy that? Go watch the Rurouni Kenshin live action series. Beautifully done. Beautifully done. If you're talking American wise, I would say that. Uh, but people are saying that the live action Full Metal Alchemist looks beautiful. So I gotta see for myself. The weirdest live action anime news I've heard is a live action One Piece. Yeah, I heard that shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm curious, but scared to. Yeah, I don't know. Right, but also shocked. One Piece is one of my favorite Shonen Jump. I'm conflicted about it. I can understand that. One Piece isn't that popular in the and I prefer it to be in Japanese dub. Yeah, people that know me know that most of the anime I watch, whether it's old or not, I watch it in its native tone. I don't. I feel that sometimes the English dub do not capture the emotion that the Japanese actors just in general. I've always used this as an example. Go back to when Gohan, excuse me, first revealed his true power to Cell. Fuck Cell, I hate Cell anyway. Um, when he stepped on Android 16's head, killed him, and then the lights, the dying of the lights, and then the whole you go watch that, and the regular English dub is a far cry from the original dub. Even the music itself made that scene beautifully done. It's all over YouTube. You go look it up yourself, and it's it's better than what you saw, what they did in that dub version. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Okay, and then any anime fans here? Yeah, a lot of my viewers are anime fans. Truck movie Duel. Thank you, Omnitron. There we go. I'm trying to remember that. I'm trying to remember. And McLeod was played by Dennis Weaver. Booyah! There you go. Good job. Respect as always. Trying to remember these. Sometimes I get sticky with just showing my age. No, fuck that. No, I'm just. Sometimes you forget. I never use my age as I can't remember. I just just can't remember. Duel. Yep. Uh, that'd be interesting, Nathan. Will we see her in? Will Bridget Nielsen's character come back? That'd be kind of interesting too. But I don't think there's any more ill will between Stallone and Nielsen. And remember, they were married at one point, so I think it'd be cool to see her come back. Just don't bring Flavor Flav. No, I just said that. Yeah. Dennis Weaver was also in Gunsmoke. My dad loved that show. My dad loved that show. Whenever I see my dad, the one show, some of the two Western shows I see him watching, Bonanza and Gunsmoke, all the time. Somebody asked me the other day, Chris, are there any old school shows you constantly watch, like old schools before my time? I said, oh yeah, um, Gilligan's Island is wonderful. I love Gilligan's Island. I'm sorry, but I'll tell you right now, I'd be fucking pissed if they try to remake that show. That won't work. That won't work. Gilligan's Island would not work today. It couldn't work today. I mean, in some way it could, but then it's just that modern technology has come too far. It's like not too. Certain areas are just too charted now. I mean, it worked in Castaway. Don't get me wrong. Castaway is a good movie too. One of my favorite Tom Hanks movies. But Gilligan's Island couldn't work, especially in that kind of comedy form. Because look at it. They got off the island, and they got stuck back on the island. They got stuck back on the island again. Then they made the island into a resort. It's funny, but yeah, there's a lot of classic shows from before my time that I still watch today. I Dream of Jeannie. I'm a sucker for the classics, man. I really am. And there's a lot of cousins and friends that just don't understand that. Why do you watch this stuff? Like, cause it's fun. It makes me. I get to see, in some retrospect, what my parents grew up watching. Outside of everything that they were dealing with in their time, I get to see what they watched when they were kids and stuff like that. You know what that does for me when I hear my dad talk about when he was a kid, he'd come home and run to the TV to watch the Adam West Batman series and stuff with his brothers, my uncles. I love that. I love listening to my dad talk about that stuff. Um, it's so much fun. It's a lot of fun to see that, and it's fun to go back and watch those shows. You know, I Love Lucy. My mom loved I Love Lucy, and I love so watch it with her all the time. Um, so much. There's just stuff like that. I'm sorry if I get too emotional, guys, with you, but yeah, stuff like that. That's good for me. It does. Um, gonna let's see. Yeah. Also, Edge of Tomorrow was based on. Yeah, Edge of Tomorrow was based on a. I have not fully watched all of Edge of Tomorrow, but it was what I watched. It was pretty good. With Gilligan, the skipper too, the man. Yeah, I think they're all no. Ginger's still alive. Marianne's still alive, but Bob Denver's he passed away. I is the professor still alive? I think he's still alive, but I know Ginger and Marianne are still alive because I remember watching them on they came to the TV Land Awards. They don't do those no more. I used to watch those. That was cool. Um, uh, it was. I remember that I did have a cousin that loved watching the show with them, and the question we used to always have who's hotter, Marianne or Ginger, and I used to always say, you know what, I always had a thing for Marianne. I like Ginger, but I always had a thing for Marianne. She just seemed more like a down home girl. I like that. Ginger just was not too much on herself, but it just, she was like a femme fatale, always using her feminine ways, especially to get Gilligan to do shit. I'm like, so you giving him that pull then, right? I was like, I gotta stop watching Dashy, man. He keep fucking me up with that shit. Okay, no. All right, I'm gonna keep going. Got another half an hour, guys. I'm having too much fun with you guys now. You're making me crack up now. Um, also, I always consider the TBS show Stranded to be the best possible take on a reboot. Gilligan's Island. Wait, I've never seen that. I saw commercials of that. Is it good? Is that good? It's true. Someone on YouTube did a different episode of Edge Tomorrow. Okay. No, I'm talking about Pokemon. Okay. All right. Really good night, Major. I've I've seen an Alf. I want to see an Alf reboot. Why don't know why I love Alf. Yeah, Alf. I loved Alf back in the day. Yeah, kitty, come on. He ate cats. I wouldn't mind an Alf reboot. Um, yeah, I don't think it would be too stupid to do it. You know, back in the days, a lot of stuff was more practical and like people thought it was fun. But now you try to think outside the box with a lot of sitcom shows, like they don't last. I mean, look at the Muppet Show that was on ABC. I love that. I'm a big Muppets fan. I love the Muppets. Still love them. I will always love the Muppets to the day I die. And one thing people kept saying, critics were saying was hurting is that they were too mature. It's like, what? Like, what? It's like they were still being the Muppets. They were just dealing with issues now that, why? I mean, the whole breakup between Kermit and Miss Piggy, that was funny as fuck to me. I found that funny. Like, okay. And then what is Kermit? He goes with another pig. It's like, dude loves his pork. I'm fucking it, dude. I know I said one last question, but okay. I watched Cowboy Bebop and it's Japanese yeah, Cowboy Bebop is a good example of dubbed and regular dub done, English dub done well. It is. That's well done. Stranded is pretty fun. It's larger cast since there's a plane crash. Okay. Have you heard about the new Jurassic World movie? I'm looking forward to it because I enjoyed Jurassic World. I I knew I was gonna enjoy it. Reason why people ask when people ask me why'd you enjoy it? Look, I've always said this, but by the time me and Malcolm got on the web officially, really got on the web, um, we loved Jurassic Park 3. Then we got on the web, we saw all this hate for it. And I never understood why. Like, why is there so much hate for this movie? I like Jurassic Park 3. But when they started, when they was doing World, I loved it even more because it was almost an homage to the first one. It felt like a complete homage to that first movie. Which once again, I've never forgotten any movie that my parents took me to see when I was a kid. My dad took me to see Jurassic Park, the first one. I do a lot with my dad. You know, after my mom died, yeah, you know, even before my mom died, you know, we did a lot, and we still do. Um, I remember the last movie I saw with my mom. Was actually The Lion King. And I better stop because I'm feeling it now coming. Okay. Okay. Feeling the waterworks coming. But yeah, that was the last movie I saw with my mother in 1994 was The Lion King. And how's that new? So speaking of Lion King, it seems that Hugh Jackman won't be playing Scar. His agent said that was a rumor, and the rumor flew too much, and he's not going to be Scar. They're looking at Eccleford, Eccleford, you know, who played Baron Mordo. They're looking at him to play Scar, and from looks like Beyonce is in the last final negotiations to play Nala, older Nala. So we got James Earl Jones coming back as Mufasa. That was, that was a. You got Donald Glover going to be Simba, I guess older Simba. I'm forgetting who's playing. I forget who's playing Zazu. Have they casted Rafiki yet? I don't think so. Who's playing? Who's playing Timon and Pumbaa? Shit. Oh shit, man, I forget. Is that Seth Rogen? One of them? I think is one of them. I think. Um, but yeah, you know, I would have loved to hear Hugh Jackman as Scar. That would have been cool. I would have taken that. You know, because I liked Ezra Elba as Shere Khan, and there is another Jungle Book movie coming out that's going to be directed by Andy Serkis, and he's actually going to voice Baloo, and Benedict Cumberbatch is going to be Bagheera. Kate Blanchett's going to be Kaa. So they're keeping Kaa females. Trust in me. I was watching the Jungle Book live action Jungle Book not too this week. I love that movie. That's a good adaptation. I give a lot of credit to that boy. That little boy did his thing in that. Mostly it's just him acting. So pretty good. Well done. Let's see, Metroid, Shogun, Metroid. Okay. Oh yeah, they better have Nathan Lane as Timon. I will accept. No, I don't think Nathan Lane is coming back as Timon. He's not. Unless they have Jim Carrey as Timon. Jim Carrey now is producing a show on Showtime now, a comedy show. Only exception. Um, yeah, that's it. I think they finished all the casting for the Aladdin live action. Um, I think, and Will Smith is going to play Genie. You guys know how I am with Robin Williams. I still cry. I cry every time I watch a Robin Williams movie. I cry. I cannot watch a Robin Williams movie, even if it's supposed to be funny. I can't watch. I can't watch it without crying. I can't. I was just watching. What was I watching? I think I was watching Bicentennial Man this week as well, and I just sat there crying. I was, you know, I watched Jumanji, I think, a couple of weeks ago. Speaking of the Jumanji, yeah, let me. I'm sure you guys probably want to hear my thoughts on that, like the new Jumanji with The Rock, and um, honestly, I like the idea. I like the idea. It's, they're avatars in a game. I like that. That's not bad. When I saw that, I was like, that's thinking right. That's thinking. It's not necessarily a doing the same thing. It's kind of going a little modern. And I thought that would, like, their avatars in a game. I thought that was great. I was like, that's cool. I like that idea. I thought that was smart. Um, the only thing I think for me, what I'm getting tired of in terms of Kevin Hart, is that he constantly jokes about his size. Like, okay, dude, we know you're short. I'm short, but stop harboring over that. Like, I don't like that. That's something I don't like. Like, you don't see Jack Black even though he's fat. Like, he's kind of chubby. No, come on. Like, but other than that, I like what they did with this new Jumanji. I do hope it's a success. You know, I'm a big rock fan. That's one of my man crushes. I ain't gonna, I'm not gonna say a lot to you guys. I have a big man crush on The Rock. I'm not even gonna lie. Um, been that way since. But no, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, not bad. I like this idea. Avatars in a game. It looks fun. Um, my favorite Robin Williams movie will always be Hint, It's Coming. Dude looks like a I was watching Miss Doubtfire not too long ago too. It was on what was it on? Showtime. No, not Showtime. It was on it's on Stars, because Stars was showing a thing for Robin Williams, and that came on there. Good movie, very good movie. Just it showed that movie just showed how talented Robin Williams was and still is to this day. If I've always said it like that, I've always said it. Here's another thing I always say: go watch The Nutty Professor, the not the original with Jerry Lewis and all that. I'm talking about with Eddie Murphy. That just shows you how talented that man was. He played almost that whole family, all with different personalities. He's been doing that for years. There are times I've always wondered, how come this man ain't got an Academy Award or something just for his characterization alone? But yeah, I love Miss Doubtfire. That was a good movie. Let's see. Speaking of Jumanji's, it was a major underrated movie. I've only watched a few minutes of it, and what I saw I was enjoying. So yeah. But I unappreciated, yeah, please, because I was about to say, please don't use underrated with me. That word gets thrown around way too much. And I think a lot of people just don't understand the meaning of underrated. Some people don't understand, so they just throw it out. But unappreciative, I like that. That makes a lot of more sense. A runner-up is Good Morning Vietnam. Good movie. Him and Forrest Whitaker, really good. What else that I love? I even loved his Popeye. I'm a big Popeye fan in general, but I thought he was good as Popeye. Even though it got panned. Toys. Even when he started getting a little serious, there's an episode of Law and Order SVU he guest starred. Oh my God, he was so good in that. He kind of played the villain, but he was good. He was. I'm gonna start crying now. But yeah, nobody will ever take the place of him as Genie. And that's not me being hard enough to can't say it. I truthfully, when I say that, nobody can take his. Why do you think when they did the Aladdin sequels and the TV series, that was the one thing I hated about the actor who was voicing him, the actor who was voicing Genie in the Aladdin cartoon series and the second movie, The Return of Jafar, because he sounded so much like Robin Williams. I was like, stop. I kept, every time I was like, dude, stop, stop, stop. And then what happens? Then they did Aladdin 3 with when you got to meet his father, played by John Rhys Davis. Robin Williams came back. Patch Adams, that's a good one too. Popeye is my number 3 favorite Robin Williams. Yeah, he was good as Popeye. I'm just saying, you're not gonna get somebody who's gonna have a face like Popeye and really be like a one-eyed sailor. But they did a good job makeup wise, and got the Popeye arms, and him kind of talk, me sleepy and you busy names, and he's trying to talk with the pipe in his mouth, and they pulled the. I'm a huge Popeye fan. He's one of my favorite classic cartoon characters. Who would have thought a character that first appeared in Betty Boop would become like he is now? You all know, fun fact, you guys probably all saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Popeye was supposed to be in that movie, but the license, they didn't get the license to use him. That's a fun fact. Why you played Horror Cycle? Yes, he was the bad guy in 1 photo, 1 hour photo. Yeah, he was. It was weird for me. I think it's always weird for some of us who grew up with actors. They're always playing the heroes or so. For me, I've always said it, I'm not a big fan of the first Terminator. I love the Terminator franchise, but I'm not a big fan of the first one because I don't like seeing Arnold as the bad guy. When he came in the second one, yeah, there you go. That's what, because for me, I've always told people, the very first movie, your boy saw, and I will never forget, the first movie was Conan the Barbarian. That's the first movie I ever saw. And I wish my dad was here because he could vouch for me. Yeah, that's the first movie we actually had sitting down to watch. And ever since then, I love Conan. Crush Your Enemies. Happy related birthday to Arnold. He's older, wiser. But yeah, I think we all are like that. That's hard for us to see some of our favorite heroes, our favorite actors play the villains, or sometimes it's hard. And Robin, Mr. Williams, and I'm holding it together, guys. I really am. But it's kind of hard seeing him play like the villain or sometimes. What else was a good movie? I think underappreciated movie. Remember the movie? I'm talking to Omnitron definitely, because he's a fellow Robin Williams fan like me. I think you guys all are, but remember the movie where he was in heaven and he went to get his wife? Him and Cuba Gooding Jr. was in it together. Damn it, what's the name of the goddamn movie? He died because a car hit him and he went to heaven. And remember that movie? I thought that was a good one too. Let's see. Replacing his role for Genie is like replacing Forrest Gump. Okay, Nate, you're talking about Forrest Gump. All right, check this out. Another Forrest Gump fun fact for you. This may trip you guys out. Do you know Mr. Tom Hanks was not the first choice for Forrest Gump? That's one of my favorite Tom Hanks movies. Do you know that John Travolta was supposed to play Forrest Gump? And every time I go back and watch Forrest Gump, I look at, and I'm just like, and I sit there and I'm like, John Forrest could, how would, I'm looking at him like, John Travolta as that role, and it wouldn't work. It wouldn't have worked as good as Mr. Hanks did it. John Travolta's a good actor, but it wouldn't have worked. It really wouldn't. That's a fun fact for you guys. You want another fun fact? Okay, check this out. You guys like action movies, I'm sure. Demolition Man. Stallone wasn't the first choice for John Spartan, and Wesley Snipes was not the first choice for Simon Phoenix. Do you know at one point they wanted Jackie Chan as Simon Phoenix? He turned it down because Jackie Chan don't play. He doesn't play villains. And then John Spartan was going to be played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, and Phoenix was going to be, get this, Steven Seagal. I found that fun fact out one time when Demolition Man came on AMC. And I was like, I'm picturing it. I'm doing the picturing again. I'm like, I like Van Damme, but him as John Spartan, that wouldn't have worked for him. And I'm damn sure looking at Simon Phoenix, Steven Seagal, I'm like, the fuck out of here. I'm not the biggest Steven Seagal fan, period. I'm not. There's only a few movies I like him in, but overall I don't like him. He comes off too immortal. Like, what I mean, that he if I was in wrestling terms, he wouldn't sell for anybody. He don't sell for shit. He every movie he has to be the badass, and he can't look like he's weak. I don't like that. You could say that, Schwarzenegger. What Schwarzenegger? No, he doesn't. There have been many movies where Schwarzenegger, as the hero, has been at the mercy of the villain. Never made him come off weak, but go look at many of Seagal's movies, and he never looks like he's in any kind of harm, and I hate that. I hate that for action heroes. Like, don't do that. I hate it. Let's see. I'm running my mouth off, but I'm forgetting that. Dan Castillo voiced Genie in the show, and his other voice role has been Noah's Dodo. Oh, okay. Yeah, that was his name. I swear I will not kill anyone, shoot guys, and then he will live. Did you get to see Terminator 3 show at Florida? No. What Dreams May Come is the Robin Williams. Thank you. Forrest Gump is my favorite movie of all time, period. No ifs and buts about it. It is the movie for me. The only one that comes close to Superman, the first movie. That's a good movie too. Laugh. That's like Nicolas Cage. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, thank you, goddamn. Glad that movie did not come to fruition. I saw a documentary on that. Steven Seagal is a joke. I give him props where props is, Omnitron, in terms of he's the first American to have reached the promotion of Dan in Aikido. I'll give him that. He's but it's just like, he's a dick too, man. I'm like, you should hear some of the shit he talks about the other guys, and I'm just like, dude, like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, you think you're all that? Like, I think he had some crack about Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is one of my idols. Don't fucking talk about him in any kind of way. I will beat your ass. Like, don't, in a different way, but don't talk about Bruce Lee in that manner. Man's dead. Man's not around to defend himself, but his legacy still is. We are his legacy. I will. Don't talk about Bruce Lee. Like, I remember reading an article where he was bashing on Bruce Lee. Fuck out of here. Okay. It's like It's like the One Punch Man of he's like the One Punch Man of action movie, but without any of the self-aware. You know what? I never thought about that, but yeah, he is. He is. Yeah, he is kind of. Oh, Steve Goes a prima donna. Yeah, yeah. Nicolas Cage as Bizarro wouldn't be that bad though. Probably. Come on. Picture Nicolas Cage doing some of the famous freak outs of Bizarro. Yeah, I can see it. Uh, look at you. You remember that? Remember the look in Face Off where he was just like, like, yeah, that shit is funny. Yeah, that's funny. Um, it wouldn't be that bad though. Did you know Steven Seagal's daughter was in Gamera film? Really? I haven't seen Gamera in a while. I like Gamera, but you know, I'm just like I'm a I'm a king of Kaiju's fan, Godzilla all the way. That's why in this new Godzilla versus King Kong, he better get that win. He deserves that win back from that other from that classic movie they did before. He deserves that win. Why be a king when you could be a god? No, I'm just um, that would have been cool to see him as Bizarro. Yeah. Like I said, guys, I don't like for me, Seagal. I have my probably his earlier stuff like uh um I think the last really movie I really enjoyed him in is probably Mark for Death. But word of advice, if you have any friends who are of Jamaican descent, don't show that movie around them. Do not. I have friends, Jamaican friends, and I showed them that movie because they were like, they wanted to see it. They wanted to, it's like, no, no. I was like, you ever seen Mark for Death? He's like, no, man, I heard of it. But I was like, you want to see it? We sat down and watched it, and like, come on, please, man. I was like, I'm not too, brother. Kim, I was like, okay. I was like, I'll turn this off because he kept getting my friends. They kept getting pissed. They're like, man, please let him bring that shit down. I'm like, yeah. I was like, yep. I knew that was coming, but yeah. But even still, even because of that, even not even besides that, he was just like, my friends a lot of my friends don't like Steven Seagal. They don't. They just don't. They don't like him. I mean, and I've even kind of look at Machete. He was the villain in that. Look at what he did in it. He cut himself across the belly with a machete. He's like, this shit's nothing. I'm like, dude, you just cut your inside and you still stand. I'm like, who wrote that? I'm like, who wrote that shit? Like, yeah. So I understand what you guys are coming from, but understand me. Like, I'm not the biggest fan with him. Let's see. There's a new game coming out in Japan. I forget the name of it. It's killing me, but it's a kaiju survival game. You play as a human though, and the story mode makes choices and attacking a kaiju. Ooh, so it's like a Telltale games. That'd be kind of cool. Uh, and the game has Ultraman, Godzilla game. Ooh, Shrouded in Shadows. That's the game. Okay, I gotta check this out. Thanks. Um, who was the little creature in old school Godzilla film that looked like Godzilla Jr. but shot fire? Oh, Godzuki. Godzilla, and Godzuki. Yeah, the one that could fly. Yeah, he was Godzilla's son. Just not. That's when they really tried to Americanize Godzilla. That's a classic cartoon though. But it used to come on Cartoon Network a lot before Cartoon Network stopped showing the classic stuff. Uh, anyway, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this up. This was fun. This was fun. I will be back again with more. Uh, as always, guys. Thank you, guys. I love you guys. As always, I don't say that enough to my subscribers. But I love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. For the 7 people that were still around, Nate, Nathan, Amitron, Major, Nathan, Devin, all you guys. Uh, I appreciate it. And this new guy that just popped up, Shoujo, Eddie. I don't want to butcher your name. I'm trying not to butcher it. I want to be respectful. Eddie Alvila Sanchez. Did I say it right? Hope I said it right. I don't want to butcher name. I hate butchering names. I always try to be respectful with names. But thank you all. Some of you guys who showed up late, just watched the replay. I will be back again with another edition. Once again, like I said, guys, I love you guys. Take care. As always, you guys know my slogan. This is Mom Vernon Kid, the Geek High Lord of New York, saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real. I'll give you a dab, guys. For you. Bam, there you go. I'll catch you guys on a flip flop. And if you guys are interested, like I said, you can go watch that Smash or Pass challenge I did. Sean, Comic Freak X, you better appreciate it. I did it for you. And Eddie, you can call me Chris. But other than that, you guys take care.